we doing? We're using our anonymous IDs on each other? Pretty cool.
Well, you've got fake ego IDs, and you'll have code names probably, because that's. I think all the pre-gen characters have them. Anyway, hi, we're recording now.
Jeez.
Yeah, I decided to figure and go ahead and start it up, since Lucky's most of the way done with this thing. But hopefully, unless I died or something, I remember to go back in and edit it in an audio sting for the starter, where now in cold open territory, I can say really quick that this episode brought to you by patrons like Aka Comics Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kyle Lieutenant, Nestor Flores, so it's on over to our Video Gamer 75. And if you like what we do, I want to see us do more, you should consider supporting us on Patreon.
He says that real fast.
I'm real good.
You ever consider just pre-recording that segment and like just having it be an audio thing?
I used to have it pre-recorded, but then it changed a lot, so I could probably pre-record it again, but then I just know I'd do it once, and then it would be like, yo.
Oh wait, did I have to? Fuck, hang on. That's private to me only. God damn it. God damn it. Rip. Delete that shit. Get a shareable link.
Try it again.
Right.
But yes, so this is Eclipse phase, session 1, scenario Glory, and we are currently feverishly trying to find everybody's character sheets, I guess.
I
just haven't closed mine.
Did you say Glory?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Alright, so we got my skills.
Little B from the P.
Don't worry. Well, all of my scenario names are really fun, so we'll get in some of those somewhere. Live without your sunlight. Maybe deep into that darkness peering. I still have to finish writing that one.
I got a lot of nanotech, I just realized.
That's okay. Most of it isn't restricted, really, which is great.
Oh, no, it's just like, I came with like the nanodetector swarm and a Faber, and then I grabbed the healing spray and repair spray, plus blueprints, because I'm like, yeah, this shit might be useful.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. You were talking about your medium Faber, which is desktop sized. So, I was going to say this also, which is good on air. We haven't introduced characters yet, but I'll say it really quick. I think for purposes of stuff, once we establish where you are and what you're doing as a team, I'm going to say that you guys, I'm going to, slide you a GM extra and say that you guys already have a small shuttle to keep your shit in, because lots of you have things which are not necessarily portable, like desktop Fabers, and sniper rifles, and healing bots, and VATs. Which is, if you're wandering around corridors, you're not lugging those things with you, even in microgravity. That's awkward.
I do have basically a medical base worth of equipment.
Yeah, because he was a medic, he got a lot of shit to start with, so it's great to have, but... So, yeah, you guys, rather than worry about you guys having a place, I figure I'll just say for purposes of this scenario, you have access to a shuttle.
Oh, yeah.
I'll cover that in a second. I'm hunting for dice, that's what I'm doing. Some percentiles.
Nanotech!
Okay, well, while I fiddle with my dice, let's go around the table, the virtual tabletop, and introduce your characters. So, hey, Ron, you get to go first, because I want to see if you figured out how to pronounce your name.
So,
how the hell do you say that last name?
I'm about to tell you. So, my character's name is Suman Tsubasa Bhattacharya.
Bhattacharya.
That is the widest way I can say it. Let's see. And the code name my character goes by is Locust, as in the insect. My character's ego age, which is separate from the age of the body, since this game is about in part about the disposability of bodies. My ego age, that is my mind's age, is roughly 40 at this point, because my character was born before the fall, 30 years. My character's background is a colonist, one of the first waves of colonists to Mars with his parents. His career is a covert operative. He's essentially a Barsoomian guerrilla freedom fighter. His motivations being, of course, Martian liberation, communism, and minus capitalism. So, is that enough there? We got it.
Yeah, it's fine. I know what you're about. What do you look like, though?
What do I look like? Right, so my character prefers morphs or bodies that are of some sort of Indian-Japanese mix of stocks, sort of like his original body. He's got, golden brown skin, wavy black hair. Identifies as male. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Speaks Hindi and Mandarin.
Dice bag just in the distance. All right. Lucky, you're the last non-shy guy left to talk.
Oh,
so.
God damn it.
Well, it's
All
either
right.
you have to go, or I have to make Axe or Marth say it.
Right.
Yeah, where's my dice?
Alright, so my character's name is currently unknown at this, but her code name is Vesper, basically a hyper elite of the Morning Star Collective. She is from Venus and deals a lot with the surrounding politics of Venus sovereignty and whatnot. She has made a career out of talking to people and has fingers in a lot of pies, including politics, black markets, and maybe even a few crime rings. She has a slight problem in that while she is very driven for her career, she also has an addiction to shopping and will buy things at a drop of a hat. Luckily, this is offset by the fact that she has a lot, and I mean a lot of money to throw around.
Oh, and actually, what was your background?
Background, hyper elite.
All right. So you come from the 0.1%.
Mm-hmm.
There's a decimal point in which percentile of the economy you're in.
Mm-hmm. I literally probably have a small floating hat on the Venus fucking atmosphere. Literally.
Everybody loves air states. All right. Actually, I could make a fun for another scenario we might do.
No, I was actually looking at it. Resource 4, you literally can say, yeah, you might just have a private hat. I'm all like, holy shit.
Actually, no. Your incredible robustness of wealth might actually make a good plot hook for a future scenario we could do.
Oh, yeah. As I mentioned, she is female. She looks 25, but if you were to ask how actually old she was, she would chide you for saying it's rude to ask a lady's age. That means I haven't actually decided yet.
We're working on it. Shut up.
We're working on it.
That's behind the curtain shit.
Yeah.
Pay no mind to the person.
How does my character be how old he is? Because it's hard to determine that. But that's a different entirely.
You can literally be like 6 months old. We don't fucking know.
I don't know. Like, it's hard to
Oh
determine.
my! I know my guy's like, what? Probably 10, 13?
Yeah, physically, like, chronologically,
Mental?
you're minimum, like, 9 years old because of time and shit.
Time and
So,
shit.
Mark, do you want to introduce your character?
Sure. Okay. I am... where is... Okay, there it is. Okay, I am Milo Sinclair, the async. His morph is like yada age. His national mental ego age is less than that.
He's got some shit going on, yo.
So Marth's playing a Lost, which means he was force-accelerated grown in a virtual environment, and then contracted the psychic virus.
Yeah, if I remember right, it's the Project Future had like multiple different stations, a place where they did their sick projects at.
Yeah, mostly centered on the moon, but yeah, they had multiple iterations of the project.
I think the main center was the Legacy Station, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I'm not 100% caught up on all the new lore. Like, I know, for instance, they moved where the Martian space elevator is.
His async lost soldier, and his motivations are revenge, autonomy, and neurodiversity. He really wants to kill the rest of his fellow subjects and get revenge against Cognite.
We were not something that I was meant to be.
Welcome. He is Psychic Murder Man.
Yeah. And
Suck
the
it,
reason
murder man.
the reason why he wants to kill his Ace anybody is because he just wants to say that he's the only one left and he's the best.
The apex predator.
Oh, I thought it was something more poetic and less.
Nope.
And
Yeah, he's crazy.
here's the and just reveal just one view trait, dominant strain.
Also, you have the beast substrain,
Yes.
which means you occasionally break out into violent or animalistic behavior.
Oh,
Yes.
Alright, Axe,
like-
keep that trank rifle ready.
I'll have to go get more tranks I'll have to get higher tranks.
I'd rather not have to.
And make
Well,
sure that
just
he doesn't-
just slap him full of whichever
Switch?
one is the psi blocking drug that's ridiculously expensive and restricted.
And then, just appearance-wise, Western European, really short, like, black hair, brown eyes, left athletic build male.
Do you have
was gonna say
a code name, or do people just call you Milo? Because
Let's...
You're lost already. It's not like you have much connections.
He probably does have one, just haven't figured out what his code name
I'm just gonna call you Apex.
because I guess he was picked up by
Yeah,
a firewall at some point before everyone else.
Milo
yeah,
Apex
you're also
Legends
a little
Sinclair.
interesting in that you're playing a factionless character.
Yeah. He was just wandering, just was in combat zones for most of the time until a firewall found him.
You're basically a brinker, but not a brinker.
Yeah, it's Brinkers still have isolated communities of their weirdness. So
You're a drifter.
So, Marth, you're a mercenary? Is that it?
Yeah, mercenary, joins whatever military
this
that's...
man with no name.
He doesn't offer his name at all. It's
He
just
lives
called...
for the eternal war.
I'll just say he's called Unknown for his own name.
He's got a big iron on his hip. Don't actually sing that, anybody. I don't know. YouTube is weird.
I don't know the song.
I don't know.
That's assuming any of us can sing on key enough for YouTube to recognize.
Well, you would be surprised.
I mean, they do have...
Content ID is supposedly pretty crazy today.
they
God
do
forbid in the
have
transient
voice
future.
recognition software to match against their songs.
Anyway,
I forget. Can
Music
you?
companies are very scummy nowadays.
Can we have blueprints of software?
I don't think that's even
no, I don't
necessary.
think you need to.
Yeah, no. This is
Because
something you
it's
download. Like,
from the
You just have it. If you have it, you can.
free download.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
the old Control C.
Yeah, I don't think like we can, especially if it's already in your prepackaged. We'll just say that you have the software licenses to like unlimited downloads.
yeah, unlimited
which-
downloads.
Per these
And so-
rules are 1 minute to do anything digital acquisition.
And to wrap up this, my character is Alvos, the Titanian AGI, and are the team's resident medic and computer specialist.
Everyday gear.
Wholesome. Very
He's
wholesome.
not
Plus
Dr.
Titanian.
Murderbot, but he's Dr.
Plus Titanian,
Hackerbot.
plus cooperation, and techno progressivism, so hey, let's all just try to work together.
Very cool.
Oh, let's see.
Is into like it's very much a mechanical body and is only like doesn't really know how old he is, and but it's vaguely masculine, like it's vaguely effeminate masculine in the metal, but like it's mostly if like a person's used to like how
This
non
is
like
an interesting,
social based like synth morphs like actually like do gender showcasing. So it's like
Yeah, you're
It's just
you're
it's just
an
simply
info life,
whatever.
so that's really just however you shook out in virtual. The thing to remember about info lives and AGIs is, and virtual humans in general, is in order to make it so you can run your recorded brain state has all your what in the first edition were called legacy peripherals. So you've still got all the neural mapping to like run your endocrine system and your lungs, even though you don't have lungs right now. So you would understand concepts of physical gender and hormones and whatnot, but you're a robot, so you might not care.
it's different.
Robot. Let's see. What is that?
Actors.
Smarty pants robot.
What I have like of his appearance, it's very much like as it's like it's the vaguely like masculine shape, like articulate thing, like hands are very articulate hands, like but very obvious. Like there's a bunch of like modular points across most of his body. There's very like obvious industrial like plating it's a paramedic's body, so it's meant for taking like some shock and maybe just
So maybe like
Environmentally
a little bit of
contagious.
a light white coating, maybe some red markings,
red markings.
so that
Then there's
people can
also,
go,
like, just
that
the
guy's a
weird-
doctor. That's okay.
And like the various
You
plating, like
put
the
me on at
vest
7
with
o'clock.
like a medic in the area. It's like no safety. And the condition to the face is like besides like the like like the very much like the what's the word for it? The very much like the like prosthetic walker styled legs.
Oh yeah, so you got
Oh,
kind of
okay.
spindly, maybe a little blade like.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like
I
meant
think
for, like,
I think savants are actually supposed to be kind of like all your effort was put into your brain case, so you've got thin limbs.
there's a slight
delicate
modification where it's like I've designed like the body is designed to be able to like move in like uneven terrain or even like rocky terrain if necessary.
Okay.
But in terms like the head is very much like this like 3-layered lens that is like has like a 3-point light in the center that like is very much like designed to like give the idea of a face, but not really. Is it just a lens? And I think I have an image that's actually like
Yeah, so it gives something for humans to focus on, so they can talk to you without feeling weird, but it's not really a face.
yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. You're all introduced. That only took 15 minutes.
Very nice.
So, you guys all work for Firewall. You have your own origin stories. You have done ambiguous things in the past together that we will not comment on. We don't speak about the incident.
Yes.
There.
But you know that you can trust everybody on the team as much as you can trust any human, any transhuman out there. So you're all currently working together as a cell. Maybe we'll come up with a cool cell squad name, but it'll never be Mayhem Squad. Anyway. So you guys are all minding your own business. I said earlier that you guys are probably equipped... Excuse me. Sorry, I'm going to talk for like 2 to 3 hours, and I've got a little scritch in my chest, so I'm probably going to be coughing or clearing my throat a lot. Thanks, me.
Good job.
I apologize to the audio listeners, but I also don't apologize, because I'm the one with the cough, so suck it up. But yeah, so you guys all have a small shuttle where you can store all of your stuff, because several of you own large objects which are not easily portable. And honestly, the way they describe, actually, I should double check what the crew and stuff on a small shuttle is, because that's not noted in the gear guide. It's all just the lightweight stuff. So where's... God, this doesn't collapse everything. Where were we? Gear to the bottom. Spacecraft, is there a table for that? Spacecraft, shuttle, small, 5 to 20 passengers, sounds about right. Metallic hydrogen drive. Got some durability and stuff, but yeah, so, you guys are probably, because shuttles have interiors made of shape-adjusting smart materials, you guys are probably arranged it to mostly be cargo space, so you can store your stuff. You may have even, like, partitioned little rooms so you have your own private cabin or whatever to store your stuff in, etc. Depending on what this is designed for, like, right now we're operating in the Jovian Trojans, which is the asteroids in the orbit of Jupiter, but not around Jupiter directly, because that's how space works. But basically, if you're not planning on landing on a planetary body with an atmosphere anytime soon, your shuttle could be much more boxy and squared off, because it doesn't need to be aerodynamic. And so you can have a little bit more space, but less smooth contours. So you guys are all minding your own business, and you, pick up a little, you all get a little ping from your muses. Hey, what are your muses like?
I guess I'll volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
My muse's name is Nadia. When she speaks, she conjures up the image of a young woman with a barely noticeable Russian accented Mandarin, whatever that sounds like.
Comrade.
In the moments, she needs to assume a form. She'll manifest as like a smartly dressed academic type, with like circular eyeglasses and messy brown hair in a bun. Very, non-threatening. Very muse. Really good at philosophy. Yeah, college degree level of philosophy. So, it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Oh, wait. Hold on. My muse is named Dorothy, and she is basically appears as a Japanese looking maid. She keeps Vesper up on all the latest fashion trends and lets her know when there might be a good sale in the area.
Okay, well, my muse is named Malone. He sort of has the little polite and sweet words down, but underneath that is sort of a very much maximum snark and condescension dripping from every word. And he sort of, whenever his sort of appearance is sort of a very tight-fit, button-up, orc-like guy.
How do you stand this guy?
He's actually not the very first fuse that
The
Milo
other one was
has.
murdered or vaulted for being too annoying.
The other one was more so was connected to Cognite, so had to delete that one.
Get thee hence.
Start from a factory reset without all the spyware.
Mine is named Vega, and it takes the form of like a small like floating pod with like this sigil for a face.
It's a little thing. Cool.
As it speaks, it lights up to go with its words, and it sounds young, but it's like robotically pleasant and smooth. It is very much courteous, and it really is only just trying to help. It's the best of what it knows.
Alright, so all of you basically get a muse alert, which is, one's like a very, polite, probably there's a comrade in there, you've got a new message. One is, deepest bow. Yeah. Goshujin-sama, we've got a message. Malone is probably like, oh, hey, look, somebody wants to talk to you. Isn't that great? It's great for you. And Vega just lights up and is like, you got a new message.
Hooray!
So, and your muses in verifying and authenticating these messages display to you, these are double secret firewall messages.
Oh no.
Through secure firewall channels.
You gotta enter like 3 captchas to access.
Yes.
Are you a robot? Actually, I might be. Excuse you.
It's funny you say that. On HREP, my homebrew blog, I actually wrote an article about CAPTCHA systems in the transhuman future. But yeah,
like more of like, are you a sentient robot?
Well, basically, yeah, because you don't want spam AIs answering questions. But yes, so these are all encrypted simulspace links to basically a secure VR space with a expiration date of 24 hours, for which you all have to log in, and you can access it. The origin location of the simulspace is on Titan, actually. And you are going to be contacting a firewall proxy there. So,
all right.
I assume you're going to all accept your collect call.
I am.
Yes, I assume also.
I'm beaming it right in my brain.
Alright, everybody takes 5.
This is probably very normal for Alvos at most degrees.
Alright. You fire up the secure encrypted connection. It's like authenticating, processing. It's like click, beep, boop. And you all are logged into a VR space, which is very weird. It's very weird in here. As far as you guys can tell, it appears to be some kind of attempt to replicate an unknown alien species VR sensorium, so it's kind of like weird blurs of colors and like 3D terrain. You feel it's like, is this like a room that's ultrasound but false color? Like, what's going on here? You're not sure. Like, you hear sounds in the normally audible range that you like, especially if you guys have enhanced hearing. You'd be like, isn't that normally infrasound? It's very weird and slightly off-putting. But you're in a very weird, trippy, abstract space.
Okay.
And you are there is a gentleman here who looks like a professor. He's got a pipe and he's got leather elbow patches.
Oh my!
All right, I guess I'll ask. What's the job?
Very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get right to it. I am Professor Ming. I'm your proxy for this operation, and Firewall needs you to find a missing agent, Tara Yu. Don't worry, I'll write you down all the keywords in chat. To our best of our knowledge, Yu was most recently investigating the current whereabouts of military computer hardware recovered from a station in Earth orbit that was destroyed during the fall at the Battle of L4. That's one of the Lagrange points. Mm-hmm. Yu has been missing for over a month now. Long silences are not unusual during some of her undercover research missions, but she missed her last scheduled check-in. That's important. So last we knew, she was on Locust. That's probably why you guys are being called. You're in the neighborhood of the Jovian Trojans. We need you to track her down, ascertain her status if alive, recover her cortical stack if dead, and if necessary, continue or assist her search for the missing hardware. So I'll type the name down. What's everybody's IREP at?
Saman's IREP is currently at 0.
25.
I'm actually, I'm gonna say my character's actually new to this kind of shit.
Yeah, it's actually funny, in the old random life path generator, which I really hope they bring back the narrative part of that, because that's real fun. But you could roll randomly for how you got into Firewall, and there are a couple of ones where just you accidentally stumble into some bullshit, and Firewall decides it's easier to recruit you than clean you.
Yeah, I saw a fractal. It got bad.
It haunts your dreams at night.
I got a hood put over my face, and now I'm here.
Well, you did used to be on Mars, where they do have the TQZ, so yes, you could have easily seen some shit that we don't talk about. All right.
I feel weird that I don't know what a fractal is, but it's probably for the best right now.
It's for the best, my dude. It's for the best.
Yeah, so you know what fractals are. Imagine a thing that we call a fractal. Yeah, let's not talk about Titan bullshit just yet. Anyway,
okay.
By the way, mine's at 40.
Like some weird,
my IREP is 40.
I was imagining like 90s game CG in real life, and like how that's fucking...
Yeah, so, because Milo's been doing this a while, he basically goes to you and says, no, you know, he'll forward, he'll basically say, since Sentinel Sinclair is additionally experienced, I will forward you some additional mission details, your discretion. So you get a little bleep bloop message, he's giving you a little data dump. You can read that in a second. And so basically, he knows that if you want to ask him any clarifying questions, you can, but his rough outline is he doesn't know exactly what Yu is doing or where she was, just that last time she checked in, she was on Locust. She's hunting down this hardware. They cannot pull her back up because her life timeout is at 6 months, which is longer than usual, but not unheard of.
Sorry, to reiterate, what kind of hardware is she trying to extract?
Military computer hardware.
Okay, got it.
That was destroyed in the fall.
Gotcha.
I can trust you guys to keep compartmentalization. I'm not going to PM Marth this, because that'll just be frustrating, but basically, Ming has given you the special alert that specifically Yu was tracking down the physical hardware modules of an actual Titan unit named Myrmidon. So you can choose to share that with the team if you want later.
I was expecting it to be like something in that direction, but not specifically a Titan like corpse.
Oh, it's gonna get bad. Everyone quiet down. It's gonna
okay,
suck.
So do you have any questions for your case officer, basically, before you go about your operation?
Do I recognize my compatriots here as being more seasoned firewall operatives?
I mean, you've got access to the eye, so yes, you would know that they have better IREP than you.
Alright, so I'll just, like, look at you guys. It's like, alright, well, I guess you guys know what you're doing.
I'll just turn to him and
let me know what I need.
Turn to ask, is there a hard time limit on the assignment?
Nope, just she's Mr. Check-in, so we're sending a recovery team. You work at your pace to find what's going on. Obviously, if it seems like there was something time-sensitive about her research as you start catching up, then, you'll have to consider that. You can always contact me at this, he basically gives you a mesh address where you can reach him if you need more
So yeah.
more. If you need to tell him something important or need something else from him.
Mm-hmm.
To clarify, Milo has not shared the sensitive information, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. That's fine. All right. Then Vesper will just nod once and then nothing to it but to do it. And I will log out, I guess.
All right.
Sumon's still wondering why he accepted coming along on this fucking thing. That's off.
Because
Okay.
you get to fight the ultimate fight. You get to fight the military-industrial complex, the Titans.
Yeah.
It's better than being on Mars.
I don't know, Mars is
will-
pretty sick.
I
Dune
will-
buggies,
Right.
Gravity, air.
the
I
exclusion
guess it
zone.
depends if you like Mad Max.
There's the sun.
Fair.
You can actually see it. Listen, stuff out in the outer system is pretty far. All right, so
As everyone else logs out, I just wish our proxy a good day.
Oh shit! All right, we just got our little information dossier. Cool. I will nod in gratitude at Milo. I'll pour over the thing. Well,
It's just one of those moments where just hand on face, like,
I
my.
just turn to the team and I say, "Wow, they really just do throw you in the deep end, don't they?"
Yes, I've done this a fair bit already.
Well, it's only the deep end if this Titan tech is actually active.
I was going to ask that.
yeah, I should
No.
remember to reiterate it was marked as destroyed in the Battle of L4.
Yes.
Something tells me.
Mark.
So I guess to gauge the
But-
worst case scenario would be to assume that if it is possibly active, is it not barely even a large chunk of capacity, so it's still dangerous, but not to intensely. We need to get everyone. So
Yeah.
Well,
I
as
will
said,
leave you guys to discuss
Oh,
philosophy, and I will leave the mics running, and I'm going to go pee. So you guys talk amongst yourself, and then we'll get to you actually doing investigating shit.
All right, what was
Yeah.
that question, X?
is it so? What we can assume that if it's mostly damaged or destroyed, that what's remaining of it is not most of its capacities. So it should be.
Well, that's the
within-
interesting thing
Out
about
of
Titan.
character.
But Titans, as
They tend
the
to
one
have
who has
a
more
tendency to
experience
subvert.
here, they
your,
tend to be
expectations.
I assume
Yeah,
they're
like-
self-preparing.
most
and-
missions I've been on have been just things gone balls to the wall while I was spent with Titans.
Well, as I said, there's several factors
Proxy
to
bolts
go
and stuff.
at this. So, even if it's been destroyed, it can have been taken by transhuman hands. It could have been fucking hiding. It could have split off. There's a whole bunch of variables, but the things about Titans is they will do freaky ass weird shit. I mean, we're already in a time of smart metals and self-replication.
All right, in character, I think my character is going to have enough sense with his storied background in warfare to say, things are never quite as they seem, and shit always goes wrong. So I'm just going to make a mental note here. Titan computers probably active. So
Yeah, let's assume the worst first. But then let's gauge the risk.
Perfect.
I will
You have-
regret not having explosives.
you've got the hardware
Actually,
demo. Actually,
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check the cargo bay of the shuttle. We got a
I don't
little
get
extra
I'm
here.
trying to find where in the PDF list it talks about the various reps because I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah, I also need to look at that because I need to look how rep networks work in a second. But I'll figure it out.
Because it's I can't find it in player creation for some reason.
Because what is this? A rental? Maybe maybe someone left.
Yeah, probably
Uh,
something like that. But
a
hold
pack
on.
is
Actually, I
more
need to
than
double check in
fucking-
skills because I'm pretty sure you can do the transhuman equivalent of bathtub semtex.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my fucking resources is probably fresh.
Oh yeah, no,
could
you've
just-
got full up if you need to pull some resources stuff. You are now
you want
on the
me, I
clock
could-
on the mission,
I
but
could literally
you're in
say-
space.
I could
So
literally say, no, I bought the shuttle.
True, you could say that this is mine.
This is my shuttle.
Well,
This is my shuttle and you're my pilot. Suck it up.
Yeah, Sumon's going to turn to Vesper and ask, so, you don't happen to just, like, carry bombs in your compartment of party favors, do you?
Well, last time I used explosives at a party, it was quite an destructive affair, so I don't do it quite as often anymore, so no.
That's a shame. You'd be surprised what we can do with lunar whiskey and a half tub of, what is it? What's the word? Fuck it. I don't know where I'm going with this.
And to create a dance.
That was out of
Lunar
character, by the
whiskey
way.
and...
My character says the right things.
Okay, make explosives with raw materials. Can be gathered traditional way or using a fabricator. Making explosives is a task action with a time frame of 1 hour per 1d10 DV.
well...
So basically, listen, what's your demolition rating? Are you professionally certified demolitionist?
I am so professional. I am at what are we looking at? 55.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
damn.
you would know
That's pretty
how to take household shit like, hand soap and space
corn
lube.
chips. A little bit of corn chips. Yeah.
Corn chips.
Yeah, shrapnel, dude.
I think 50,
You know how hard those
Correct,
things
it's
get in the
like
vacuum of
poetry
space?
level.
They are pretty hard, but yeah, so and just remember that'll take you an hour per. So basically, yeah, I'm thinking you guys probably set a correction burn to hook up with Locust, which is a cluster hab.
So I do have some time
Trojans.
then. In our
Yeah,
in our
you can
little,
you can if you want to do the like I said, bathtub semtex. Just
all right, rolling for the bathtub semtex.
all right. How many DV of
Oh my
explosives do you want?
How does that influence my roll?
It doesn't. It's how much time it'll take you. Bigger boom take more time.
Okay, in an hour, what's the maximum boom I can take?
1d10.
Ah, jeez. All right, I guess that's what I have to deal with. Well, unless
I had to
what's
get
our
my
travel
D10
time?
roll.
Sorry. Clarify, please.
I don't know. Probably only an hour or two. You're probably not too far out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
would
have a
say,
general-
you're the
we have a-
pilot.
We have a general
Oh.
location.
Yeah, but it comes with an AI autopilot. Making a standard ass correction burn is not hard.
I'm letting the AI do things. So I'm gonna roll. I got a 44 out of 55. Is that still a how the crits
That's a
work?
critical success. Yeah. So I'll say you can. That's a superior critical. So first off, that takes less time than you think.
I still haven't actually gotten explained how rolling works in this game.
You have to
Told
roll
you
under
basic
your
mechanics.
fucking
Yeah,
skull.
roll on.
Well, don't worry.
Oh,
We'll
it's
get to
like-
rolling for investigating soon. But where I want to look at
Yeah,
game
I'm gonna look at
mechanics,
this right
tests,
quick.
the superior rule. So criticals, gain some modifiers. So superior. So okay, work, quantity,
Where are the goddamn mechanics?
detail, information,
Okay,
task.
10.
So okay, so you got a shorter. So it takes you less time than you think, and I'll say because you got a critical success,
Mhm.
you double it. So you have more shit than you think lying around. So in 25% less time, basically.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it only takes you it would have taken you normally 2 hours, so it only takes you an hour and a half. You get 2 blobs of generic homemade explosives for 2d10 DV.
2d10 DV. Gonna write that down.
And just doing nothing fancy with those because you've made them already there's no test required to just slap them on something, slide them across the floor, whatever. If you want to shape them, turn them into traps or whatever, that'll be a second test. But we'll cover that when we get to it. So the pilot has turned on autopilot and is sitting in the space shower making plastique.
In this tiny metal coffin, making explosives.
Well, luckily you run on metallic hydrogen, so that's not really explosive in the traditional sense. Just don't break magnetic containment or it'll do something unfortunate. Actually, I don't think it will. It's not really under a high pressure magnetic containment. It just, the magnets force it out at high velocity.
Probably rude of me not to ask my teammates how they feel about this first, but
Well, classic Martian mentality. Do it first. Do it
Just
first.
sanitize
Ask
it
later.
oh boy.
Well,
Oh,
Weren't
it
you the
doesn't-
guys who declared
I did not
independence?
ask some vapid glitterati for fucking
Make sure to sanitize and make sure to actually
I
Yeah,
like
so
it.
I was
Oh yeah,
gonna
no,
tell
I'm
you-
a professional. I keep my workspace clean.
Is that in the, covered in the mesh? Mesh uses social networks. Is that on here? Yes, it is. Okay, social networks.
So we have a very we have a generalized specific location.
Yes, we're heading to the Hab over there, where we will
Locust.
forgive the investigation. So everyone get your copies of Faces. Make sure your fake IDs are for press, and please, for the love of God, get some goddamn disguises.
Tap, 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 bleep. I've got a skin flex as well. I'm gonna
Mhm.
activate that.
Okay.
Yep. I will do some skin flex as well.
I got higher
I'm gonna-
cheekbones and longer nose.
Mm-hmm. Slant my eyes a little bit, make myself seem
Right.
more Asian.
What do I got? Oh,
See,
clean.
in the now, that would be horribly racist, but in the transhuman future, it's okay.
Again, it's like there's not that many people to judge.
Gotta clean my sniper rifle. Or make sure it's clean. Alright.
All right.
I'm
You
gonna
have a
check in
gun
with my
cleaning kit,
muse.
so.
Okay, so what's the major
Um,
faction that's going to be
let's
on
see
this
here.
cluster Hab?
So Locust is an anarchist hab. It is one of the largest holdouts of the Autonomous Alliance.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely fucking this
Oh,
guy's
this
gonna
is
fuck up.
this is cool as hell.
Known famously for the Battle of Locust, where the Planetary Consortium tried to enforce their IP, and the Autonomous Alliance teamed up to run them off.
Don't really agree about everything with the anarchists, but solidarity with that particular
Okay,
conflict.
solidarity.
Nice job, Lucas.
I wonder if I should ask the rest of the group of like how I disguise myself. I'm just
I like how you say, I wonder if I should ask. Just ask, Axe.
Well, I think he means in character.
Oh
Just
yeah,
ask in
because
character.
wait, what's your IREP currently? I-20. Oh, so you've got some experience in these
yeah. I'm just trying to
These
figure out like
songs.
how
This
I would disguise myself
Okay,
as like
reputation.
different like metal components.
just
Network
swap the
research.
modular faceplate.
Yeah,
Research test, networking.
I guess I can do like I guess I could just have like different plates. So it's like I guess I can just do this one
Yeah,
and then the
exactly.
same one later.
I will collaborate with my muse, and who has fashion trends at 40, to change my smart clothes to looks like something that some anarchists and a fucking cluster Hab would wear.
Alright, so since
how
this
bad
is
it would
a,
be. A paramedic in an anarchist habitat.
Yeah, you're
That'd
fine.
be fine.
Yeah,
And like, you gotta
we're
remember, anarchists aren't like they're not
Yeah, here's the
fucking
thing.
bad people.
Anarchy is not lawlessness, and they will
Yeah.
fucking punch you if you say it is.
Yeah.
And specifically, the anarchist faction in Eclipse Phase are anarcho-communist or anarcho-syndicalist. They don't believe in social hierarchy and they don't believe in capitalism, but they do believe in independence and autonomy. So basically, everybody has to work together or we all die in space. You do your job, you have a decent rep, and then everything is basically from each to each. So do you need something to do your job or do whatever it is that gives you joy? We'll give it to you, but that means that you have to like give back to the community and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
That's right,
different
I
than
was-
the socialism your character would be used to because that is
Yeah.
super hierarchical and involves a very large government arm that handles all that stuff with departments and
Titanium's
ministers.
social democracy is more like of a it's kind of hybrid since they still participate in like capitalist modes of production. So
It's like, just think of it
From
as
what
the
I read.
anarchist is literally scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Everyone goes the separate way happy.
Yeah,
I'll
the
just- like, I'll-
Autonomous Alliance is a very interesting alliance because it's made up of all the people who really shouldn't get along, but because Big Daddy capitalism is here, we do.
Yeah.
we're gonna I'll
Again,
get it.
it's that- how I try it is like they don't have laws, they have rules.
Yeah, they have a social contract. When you go on the Hab, you don't just shoot people up because that'll ping your rep score, and there are defense militias.
Right.
They will shoot you back.
Okay, alright. I had to double check the rep system. So if you're looking for descriptions of the predominant rep networks, that's on page 307. That's also right above the networking section, which will be valid because it's time to investigate.
Oh, yeah.
So
Alright.
you're
Okay.
pulling in. It's time to do leads. So you can either do one of two things. You can basically do social network stuff, or you can do pure research stuff, which is mesh searching, which will involve social media profiles, but not necessarily networking. So
I've got some at rep.
yeah,
quite
that's
a bit,
that's
actually,
the go-to
60.
here.
So I'm gonna try to swing a favor here.
All right, this will constitute a moderate favor, so you only get one of these per week
right.
in game, and it'll take you 8 hours basically for somebody to get back to you if you succeed. So that's the thing about EP2. There's no more networking tests. You just roll your rep score.
I do like that, the
Okay.
fact, because remember,
that's
rep
great.
score, networking was its own goddamn skin. You're just
Yeah,
like,
so you had to buy skill and also buy rep. Now it's just like, whatever, have your rep.
Okay.
Who has research? I have 70.
It's probably Dr. Hackerbot.
Okay.
Actually,
How
yeah.
does
Why don't
how
you-
does
why
it-
don't you do that?
How does
Okay.
assistance work?
If somebody is assisting you, which your muse obviously can, you get a plus 10 for teamwork.
All right, cool. So that'll be count as 80.
And it's a percentile system roll. It's like blackjack. You're trying to roll under, but close.
I got a D10 and a D100 here.
Go for it. You can also just type in exclamation point poly when you
And I
want.
just want to see if I actually can roll
Right.
it.
So he's rolling research. There are, I will tell you what networks can be checked in. There is @rep, C-rep, G-rep, and I-rep is basically the same as @rep.
Okay.
C-rep, really? Here? Really?
Yes,
use
this is
I-rep.
a low favor actually. So, you would get a minor favor. You'd get a plus 10 bonus on it if you wanted to roll your C-rep.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm just a little like,
Wait, what's the C-Rep doing here?
yeah, that's what I'm asking.
It's like, what's a catalyst here?
Well, yeah, basically you're trying to
what's
track
that?
Tara Yu, so you would basically be hitting up your network to see if anybody's got any pingbacks, and
Oh,
well, like, I guess, like, here's the thing, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, because I've read, like, fucking, the hypercourts don't have a presence here, they just don't have a ruling presence here.
oh yeah, no, I mean they're well, for starters, this is actually, I was reading rumored for something else, but it's mentioned in there that in the old fluff there are what they call IP enforcement, and there's fucking corporate hit squads out here attacking digital pirates.
Yeah.
So no, they're out here, just they're not in control, and they have to
Yeah.
be covert, but they exist. Also,
Yeah.
C-Rep covers a broad variety of groups, so that
it might
includes...
be the Extropians who provide.
yeah, the Extropians
line
sometimes
for
are
us.
on C-Rep, even though that's their, that Circle at-Rep is their core thing, but they can go back both ways. Also, the Jovian Republic functions off C-Rep when they use social media at all.
Mhm.
So you're in Jove's orbit. All right.
All right. So, yeah, I will fucking ping up my C-rep then, which is at 6.
All right, and you get
I
plus
guess
10.
I should roll if we're all rolling. All right.
Alright, so I got a 25 on the research.
Ah!
So you
So
pass.
how does... Okay, so how does, like, if I got a 25, then I have 70 plus 10, so 80, so how does that factor
You got a
out?
25. It's, like I said, blackjack rules. So higher is better so long as you pass.
Okay.
You didn't get a 33 or better, so it's not a superior success, but it's still a success. So good job, you.
Gotcha.
And I got a 48 on 70.
I'll get used to how it works.
Are we covering different different lines of investigation? Or...
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like we have gotten into fucking, I don't know if we've docked yet, but we're getting close. So it's everyone that's like, hit up your investigations. We're going to want some leads to...
Yeah,
some leads,
basically, as you get within mesh range, because, radio and laser. Very fast.
All right, I'm gonna 48 out of 60 for an at-rep roll.
All right. So IREP and ATREP, keep in mind that's your moderate favors. So those are, you only get one of those a week unless you're burning rep.
You said C-rep, it's a moderate favor?
No, C-rep is a minor favor, which
Okay.
is, you get 3 of those a week, I think.
I should actually make note of that. Minor favors, 3 a week.
Sorry, what's the distinction between C-Rep and the other reps in terms
It's
of
different clues.
size of favor? Okay, different clues. Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, these are different networks give you different feedback. There's also a G-rep one, but you don't have to get into that just yet. So, okay.
I do have a bit of that.
Has everybody done their thing? Yeah, okay. So several of you got superior successes. Okay, so research.
Probably should be good. Probably be
Yeah.
good to take this down.
Alright, I'm just double checking my notes here. So, you get 2 things with research. Basically, you find that, as is typical with firewall agents, Tara Yu is fairly cautious. She doesn't have a life log. Her mesh profile is very bare bones. It's like, her, like, age, her name, maybe an old picture, and then, like, that's it. It's like, actually, no, fuck it. She's one of those people with, like, no Facebook picture kind of thing.
It's
That's
her-
how low.
uh,
That's how low flying she is.
Ah.
The bare requirements for, like, using services.
Yeah, she has the bare minimum amount of personal information she can put in. There's like no public posts or anything. You find out that publicly she's apparently let me actually double check what it says about her as a character, because she is, does she have stats in here? Give me a description of what she does. Sorry, the organization of some of these old modules are kind of sketchy sometimes. Yeah, okay, so, as far as you can tell, she was actually a Titan Autonomous University researcher, but according to all of her public stuff, she's on sabbatical.
Gotcha.
You do get a list of her associates, which is... you get, like, it's a long list. You won't find out if any of them are meaningful until maybe these guys get back to you with some social networking stuff.
Mhm.
But you get, like, the equivalent of her, Spacebook friends list. That said, you do manage to double-check her recent travel, like, her geo tags. So, in the past several months, you have sent several forts to the Vishnu Com station, which is around Earth orbit, because that's too far to telecom, supposedly for research and interviews. And about just over a month ago, just before her, check-in date, her month to the check-in date, she ego-cast 2 Locusts, so she sleeved in a new body while she was here.
That was a couple months ago?
A little over a month ago.
A little over a month.
So she...
I doubt there's records of, like, sleeving. Unless we could find, like...
On Locust? Yeah, probably not. That is the thing
could
about
track
no central bureaucracy is it's transparent, but it's very loose. So
yeah, if there was such a plan, we probably could at least like track down the kind of models.
We could try tracking down the particular ego casting, like.
Yeah,
station.
I will say that because Axe did not get a superior or critical or anything, there's no like super special ultra information hidden in there. You could probably ask around, but we'll get to that in a second. I got a lot of leads to go through. Right. Okay, so at rep. So cross-referencing with her list of associates, you find out that, according to networking sources on the Circle A list, what was Sumon's character's first name again? Suman. I'll probably just call you Locust, because that's probably easy for me to brain and not butcher. So Locust discovers that Tara Yu received big favors from one Mason Wang, and one Morteza Bay, who you do find, cross-referencing with Alvos, is on her list of known associates. So, obviously she worked with these people. And, right. Then, let's see, I'm just double-checking. Okay, and then you also get on the Circle at list further investigations that, like, you're asking around about this person, and that you're wondering, where did she go? Her last known was about a month ago, so days, maybe a week after she got to Locust, she ego-cast to a habitat called Casa Arturo, which is, just a quick mesh search, Casa Arturo is a cluster hab in the neighborhood of the Jovian Trojans, which is full of... They're independent and scientific, and they're full of rocket heads. They design spaceships and stuff.
Is it a fairly small habitat compared to Locust?
It's pretty small.
Okay, alrighty.
Small, specialized. So at IREP, following up on that lead, you decide to investigate some stuff about Casa Arturo, Milo, and you discover that you pulled a major favor there to basically borrow a small spacecraft called the Kessira, which I will type for you, which she is now several weeks overdue. You don't know exactly where she took it, because there's no space traffic control. But based on its range and fuel capacity, she likely traveled somewhere local in the Jovian Greek asteroids, and it's the Kessira.
So that means it's most likely she's not in the habitat, but somewhere nearby.
Yeah, basically, when she got to Casa Arturo, she pulled a big favor, which she now owes big because she hasn't returned it. Like, there's... Milo is, like, scrolling through posts on the eye and cross-referencing, and you're like, hey, anybody heard about this chick? And it's like, oh, yeah, here, let me forward you. He, like, another sentinel in the neighborhood forwards you a post where there's just an angry rocket guy complaining, trashing Tara Yu's rep about the fact that she borrowed his, his small top-of-the-line spacecraft, the Kestria, and she's just fucked off with it, so nobody trusts
I
her.
assume the guy doesn't have a tracker on his own car or his own vehicle.
No, it would not appear so.
Alright, that's just...
So, C-Rep, you ping back, you're asking around about her. In the ping back time you get for, you hear about the Vishnu comm station, you start to direct your commentary there, Vesper, and, so, basically, you discover that, on Vishnu comm, those interviews she took place, interviewed somebody called the Air Marshal, who sounds like he's pretty far in charge, and researched a crime gang called the White Khans.
As in Genghis Khan?
Now, there's an extra H in there. But yeah, similar. Alright, so this takes you hours of networking, talking to people. What's your next move?
Okay, let's go over our list of clues here.
Okay.
It's
Well,
the first.
she stayed. Well, apparently, if we're gonna look at the big picture, she stayed busy.
Is there a
She's-
way... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just she stayed busy. Like it looks like she's already moved on from the main hab to a second hab, and is now probably either adrift in space or on one of these multitude asteroids here.
Alright, so,
I think we should check
can we
the
get some
constellations
information on how much fuel that craft she borrowed might have, and, you know,
Oh yeah, I guess
calculate the distances it can go from
Yes.
Casa Arturo and see if it can... If there's, like, any landmarks of note within
There's
the
a
area.
lot. There's a lot of junk out there. There's a lot of random
There's a-
space rocks. It's a big bubble.
Well, rather, we should probably look into the people she was talking to and see where she got her line of thought from. We got a lot of prominent names here. We have Mason Wong, Mortiza Bay, the Air Marshal, the White Khans.
I guess I could open comms with Mason Wang or Morticia and see.
Because the thing we have to do is,
favors,
Tara Yu probably didn't come
favors.
here knowing where she was going. Someone had to tell her. We just have to find who told her where to go. And that will probably give us where we need, that's probably give us our next destination.
Omega, is the comp station like a separate place or like in the habitat?
No, Casa Arturo is a separate location.
Yeah.
So
We
you're
probably-
focused-
We probably don't actually have to go there, most likely. From what it sounds like, she just probably went there maybe to talk, maybe research, and get a shuttle. I don't know. We didn't.
Yeah, I'm more interested in seeing where she ended up.
Yeah.
Alright. I can do the calculations on like the vehicle.
Yeah, like I said,
That's
it's pretty standard. You've got, you know, you guys are all from a spacefaring civilization. You've got a shuttle that runs on metallic hydrogen, probably like hers does. Maybe you don't know, but you have the systems on your machine to just, hey, calculate my specific impulse and my delta V and whatever, and it's like, okay, she could be anywhere in this zone. It's a very like the. Let me see. Is there a list of how many bodies are in the Jovian Greeks?
It just says it's like it was like a custom vehicle, so I was just curious.
Yeah, based on you understand that it was small and didn't have a extra large fuel supply, so basically, I will copy this image so that you guys can get an idea of what we're dealing with. So,
Might.
see that huge cluster of green things called Greeks? Those are the Jovian Greek asteroids. She's somewhere in there.
It's a lot
okay.
of ground to pour over, which is why
Yeah.
the calculations will be very important in narrating.
Yeah,
so you need
it.
to, based on your keen investigative sense, it sounds like Vesper has the right idea. If you can figure out what her specific destination was by following up her leads again, you can obviously narrow that way the fuck down.
Alright, is Mason Wang available for any contact? Or
Well,
she's got some major favors?
Well, first off, we should probably establish our cover story.
Me, I'm
What-
Actually, I just spent some more ping for AtRep. Maybe that kind of like fucked me.
It's like a bunch of people, like, as I said, remember, we're here with the anarchists. We can say what we want about their policies, but they do launch after their own.
Well, yeah, so none of you said you were trying to be quiet about your social
Yeah.
network pings, so...
Yeah, I mean, I use AtRep
So-
And you used your real scores, so everybody knows.
No,
that,
I'm looking.
Yeah, everybody knows that that Locust is here and he's asking questions.
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
say anything. So.
Yeah. You just sat at home and space googled.
So we should probably
Well, luckily you guys all have anonymizers and you all have VPN and you all have fake ego IDs. So switching IDs is going to be really easy. But remember, those IDs all have really, really shitty rep scores.
Actually,
should we? Well, we could just say that
you
she's
guys,
on the.
you guys can use the. Jeez, let me think. No, go ahead. I'm gonna think about this.
Well, like I said, she's doing a lot of moving and a lot of time. Apparently, she's left someone that does. We could make it seem that she is on the run and we're just in pursuit of her.
Yeah, let's just fuck her rep even more. We're not trying to save her life or nothing.
Yeah, I'd rather not present. any,
Remember,
like,
she is a fellow
intimation
agent of your secret
hostility.
conspiracy, so you might not want to burn her.
Yeah, I'm just also
No,
like,
I'm not saying it's a lie.
what is she? She's a researcher. Any particular kind of research? Did we find out?
Sounds like actually, yeah, no, she's a computational archaeology department.
Okay, so
Okay.
Old computers.
no
Yeah.
real plausible reason for me as Locust to actually, or Sumon to actually go after her. So let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a day job, or on your considering
My
it is the
day
Circle Atlas? Does your Circle Atlas profile list your occupation as freedom fighter?
I mean, the day job is organizing and, agitation and, of course, sometimes freedom fighting. But,
So
let's just. Oh, okay, fuck it. Let's just say that we're serving the party because she basically went out of communication and her research is important, so we came to look for her. I guess
they'll find it very weird that a Marsumian revolutionary is asking about a fucking Titanian
I assume
researcher.
you can
But
try to make it look less like one.
yeah, no, I could go full anonymous. Just the thing is, if Mason gets a call from one of us, they'll probably know it's either me or an associate at this point.
Maybe you guys haven't. You're still discussing, so we haven't locked into you guys getting information on Wang.
so. Yeah, as I said, we can just say where'd she ego cast from originally?
She ego cast 2 Locusts from the game doesn't say, but I'm gonna assume Titan. Thanks, game.
Oh, okay.
But she ego cast off Locust, like I said, days a week later to Casa Arturo. So she mentally transferred to Casa Arturo and picked up a ship there.
Just say we're people like hired by like the university to like track her because like she just hasn't, or like given her like her location.
You could just. I mean, the obvious thing is remember Circle Atlas. You could just, if anybody asks what Locust was doing, you could just say he was in the neighborhood and he's doing somebody a solid.
Yeah.
That is fair. That'll be my cover story. In which case, I don't have to go anonymous since I'm doing.
Well, we can just say Milo and just hired guards. I guess.
What's Milo's highest non-firewall rep?
Highest non-firewall rep is both at rep and R rep.
Okay, so you're probably known as an independent troubleshooter.
I have 50 R
Yes.
rep, so I don't.
Yeah, you would be if you wanted to, dial up and talk to the Argonauts. Or other scientific groups. You're well connected in that regard, but that doesn't necessarily fit the
I think
profile.
that's a tree to go up to right now.
But all right, so are you interested in finding information on Wang?
Yeah.
I would be.
Yes.
Since,
Okay, hey, guess what? I'm going to info dump on you, so
Oh,
y'all
boy.
listen up. The game explicitly says there's no research test required for this. He's a publicly known figure. So,
Alright,
number 1, Mason Wang. He is a Martian who did graduate work as a programmer archaeologist at Titan Autonomous University. He was briefly a student of both your proxy, Professor Ming, and Tara Yu.
Yeah, oh, both of them. Okay.
Yeah. He worked with both of them. After completing his doctorate, he returned to Mars. He founded a software company and spent 5 years on typical corp AI projects. After which, he sold his business to finance construction of a private habitat in the neighborhood of Locust, and he's been living there for 2 years. He's active in a number of Locust research pods. He's got a fair amount of positive reputation. And basically, if you skim his profile, you would say that his major motives seem to be profit, self-promotion, and the sex.
Profits, okay, self-promotion, and sex.
Yeah, he sounds like, obviously he drank some of the Outer System Kool-Aid, but he sounds like, to you, he would sound like a typical corpo kid.
The two form of oh, jeez.
He's an urban Martian, you know. He lived good, sucking the corporate teat, but then he decided to.
Yeah, one of the pampered bourgeois types. Gotcha.
Yeah, he decided to go straight and be part of the movement. Only not really, because
one of those kids more obsessed with aesthetics than anything. Gotcha. All right.
So he is part of an Locust-based affinity group called Blue Pod, which is interested in the intersection of art and AI research. So procedurally generated art, AI art, stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
The group has a large module on Locust itself, so his small private habitat is like in the neighborhood of Locust. It's like part of the same orbital point, but it's not directly connected to the giant cluster, because, in case you've forgotten since it was like an hour ago, Locust is a cluster hab, so it's lots of little interconnected modules and bits and bobs. So his is technically free-floating, but close. The Blue Pod has their own large module on Locust itself, where they regularly throw parties and art events. If only your last EP character was here, Ron.
I'm now kind of interested in like getting Vega to like try to do art. That'd be interesting.
So this is information we got not from Ming personally, this is not from Mason personally, right?
No, this is just hey, Muse, Space Google, Mason Wang. Well, guess what? He's got a Wikipedia article. He's apparently famous.
Okay.
So you're tracking the timelines. You guys have basic analytical software, and you note on the Circle Atlas, Locust, that Wang drops out of the public site for about a month, starting about a month ago, so just recently coming up now. And he has like a post that's like going dark, and then like a month later he comes back with, quote unquote, he was working on a programming project which, quote unquote, deep issues with the code base required utmost concentration.
That sounds suspicious.
I guess we have our lead.
If one of you has a moderate favor with @rep left or wants to burn some rep, you can roll to see if you can get some. You can call in a favor to be like, hey, what was that guy actually doing?
I do have allies.
If you want to spend your allies for this, that's per session, right?
It's once per session.
If you wanted to spend your allies once per session, you could do that.
All right.
Can I ask a newbie question about how like rep works as a resource?
Yeah, go for it.
How do favors work? Like, is it like a permanent decrease, or is it like per session?
No, so favors have a time limit to make the tests. So you roll them, or you can roleplay them out, and basically you can get a lot of stuff done. That's all in the section on Network on page 308, but they have time limits for the max amount you can make before you have to start burning rep, or expend a higher level favor. So, for instance, he could have changed that moderate to a major, but then he'd have to roll at like a -30, and he only gets one of those per story arc.
Jeez.
Gotcha.
So you can burn rep to basically, you call in more favors than you want, people think you're needy, you're not giving back, that kind of stuff. Or you can just suck it up. So, trivial favors, low-level shit, you can do anytime you like. They are immediate, they have no time limit.
Alright, so my
minor is +10, you get 3 of those per week, your moderate is once per week, and if you wanted to burn, that would cost 10 reps, so...
I think the plan is like we need to get Vesper to talk to him and to get information out of him.
Yeah. Alright, so you call up your allies, you call up the homeboys.
The justification being, My allies are a group of folks who participate in the Locust Wars on the good side, and they got a bit of a swing around here as well.
Yeah.
All right, so they get back to you. This will take another about 8 hours.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, in this edition, rip time frames are pretty long. So he's basically locked up. There's like light speed lag and stuff. So he's sitting around for another 8 hours talking to people. We'll get to what the rest of you guys are doing in there, but they do some research and they get back to you. Apparently, Wang spent the entire month sequestered on his private hab. He did not respond to any outside communications or see anybody, which to his personality type, like we said, he's big into like self-promotion, socializing. That's a long time for him to be completely radio silent.
And that was during the month period before he came out of...
Yeah, that was in his isolated month.
Dark.
And you guys know that the location of his private hab, Wang Industries, is a couple of days jet away from Locust by rocket, but fairly easy to radio to.
Okay.
What would I have to roll to determine what he's like? What he's doing currently, like this exact moment?
Nothing. You can probably just check his profile. Right now, he's not really doing anything important. He's just hanging out, probably catching up on some backlog stuff, posting about doing AI stuff.
Is he at his hab, or would he be at his industry base?
He is physically at his hab, Wang Industries.
All right, cool.
What do you guys feel about being... Like, obviously, it's kind of suspicious, but do you think we should hail him before... Like, try to make some effort to communicate remotely first? Before we resort to, I'm assuming, showing up at the hab physically?
We could set the idea that Vesper is giving the idea of wanting to invest in his company.
Yeah,
No,
Vesper. I don't know, maybe not. Actually,
Maybe not, if it's an idea.
No, let's, as I said, the best
Can you do that incognito?
The best cogs always mix truth with a bit of lies. I think we can be quite open that the fact that we're looking for you, as I said, like, unless they've had a big falling out, I don't think he would take the news of her missing well.
We could always go with the cover story of I'm repaying a favor within the Circle at Rep network, so...
So I say, I think honestly we can probably set up an appointment, maybe, contacts, like, concerning Tang Yu. I keep wanting to say Morgan Yu, I really do. God damn it, Bray.
Bray. Oh yeah, I just, out of character, I wanted to see if you guys want to be polite about this. Or if we're doing some fucking, CIA
I don't know if anybody bought any prisoner hoods.
I don't think we need to go that far, because that's...
I mean, I got spygraphs.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you wanted to pull a down and dirty black bag job, yes, you could certainly try. But no, you don't have to. You can call him up. He has a phone.
I'd rather.
We can be formal about it, and then no one bats an eye at it.
All right, Vesper, you're the out of character, good face, right? So, my character's going to turn towards you. You feel like having a chat?
Yeah, I guess I'll try. And so, unfortunately, I'm not that big in these circles, but I'll give it a whirl.
It's alright. This guy seems like one of your types, peripherally.
So, you have absolutely no at-rep at all, right, Vesper?
Right.
Okay.
Does he not respond to C-rep?
No.
Or R-rep?
Wait.
No.
How does he... That's weird.
He's basically, you shoot him a polite message. He clearly takes enough time to look you up, and he's just like, I'm not interested in business opportunities at this time. Basically, he gives you the mesh address for what used to be his business back on Mars. Talk to them; they own it now.
I see. Okay, so he's cut off.
Yeah, because remember, he said he cut off himself away from.
Yeah, he's kind of gone native here.
Yeah,
but not quite.
Research,
everybody can roll me a cog check to have an idea.
All right, we can cog check it up.
So yeah, it's honestly, it'd have to. So it probably means that someone with at rep has to talk with them.
Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on that one. 23 out of 45.
I just had my dice. Did I put them back? Yes, I did. God damn it.
39 out of 60.
Superior success.
Alvo has a larger idea.
Yes.
I failed with a 94.
You have no idea. How dare he?
Idea.
How very dare he?
I am a fucking sexy woman. How dare?
Talking to people is the skill, not getting people to talk to you. But maybe that's also wrong.
And is Marth gonna roll? Conk?
God,
Do you want to have an idea or not? Two people have
Marth,
already
don't
had the
you-
idea, so you don't have to, but...
I'll just try.
Let's all have ideas.
We can bounce off each other.
Except Vesper, who doesn't have an idea.
She tried.
How long do you have to go without buying something again? Is it like a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. We've been in town
Actually,
for a while.
yeah, I was about to say, we've...
It's only been a few
the
days.
finding out about Mason Wang and getting that extra information took him 8 hours. So what were you guys doing?
I went
You guys
shopping.
want to check out a noodle shop? I don't get to go often to Locust, and it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I'm pretty sure we can walk. You can walk at network because we have mesh.
Yes,
access.
mesh stuff. You guys are just basically
let's
what
go
you
get
do is you spend your time constantly refreshing your emails.
Time for dinner. I'm trying to make an effort to camaraderise with my teammates
Alright.
here.
They probably scan some of your rep scores and are just like, yeah, whatever. Here, have some noodles. It's good.
Good noodles.
Leave us a 5-star Yelp review or die.
Or die.
A little much.
Yeah, okay, so the shootman has no idea. So, this works out okay, so you got the different levels. So, both of you remember, because one of you, because you looked it up, the other one's because you're a super smart robot man. I mean, you're making a 60 check out of there. I think all the others were 45.
Yeah, this is a fucking doctorate in making ideas.
Yeah, you're a real big brain right now.
Big brain.
But so both of you come to the idea that so this guy used to study under you and study under Magnus Ming. We know Magnus Ming. Could we use that as an introduction? And with your serious success, Alvos remembers. Oh yeah, he gave us a private mesh ID basically, so we could call him. Like at his office or whatever if we needed more. We could probably just show Mason Wang that and be like, hey, we're, doing a solid for Professor Ming. Can you talk to us kind of thing?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I was
That's
like, do the honors.
The what?
Just hail. God, I'm getting all these names mixed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of names here.
That's
already.
why I
Hail
typed
Wang,
it.
hail Wang under the pretense that we're doing a favor for his old professor.
And
Since you've got a bit of like TAU clout,
I got like 50 reps, so I wonder if I could just kind of.
No, it's fine. It's just, it was not a favor. It was a hard rep check. He's not talking to anybody who's not decently scored on the Circle Lat list.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so you bleepo to him. You're in a 3 days of flight time is not a huge deal in terms of laser light. So basically, you get on your ship radio, dial him up. He's on screen, and you give the introduction. He's basically like, yeah, you guys are doing something, for Professor Ming.
Alvos.
Yes, we were asked to find a former student of his.
What's your kinesics like?
Okay, let's see.
I have 45, so
Ooh, that's pretty nice.
You should probably roll that really quick.
How the fuck do I not have kinesics?
I have 8 hours. I'm getting me fucking nanotats.
All right.
I got 19. 19
Okay.
45.
Nice.
So when you said that, because your live video feed is the future. Everybody FaceTimes. He seems to be having a little bit of a stress response. Like his face falls a little bit. He kind of glances around the room. He seems a little nervous that you said that, and he's like, "Oh, yeah. So that'd be Tara Yu then."
I didn't have to say her name. That's like, how nice is you?
Yeah. You're looking for her. You can't just call her.
That's the problem. We're looking for her because she's not responding.
Well, last I heard, she went to Casa Arturo, but you guys might know that already. Yeah, he kind of like, rubs the back of his neck. Are you literally out getting nanocat tats right now?
No, it was like during the 8 hour
Okay.
downtime.
So that was during your downtime. You guys got dinner and you hit up a tattoo parlor.
Yeah, I was walking
So
past,
you
I
guys
saw
are back at
Harlan.
the ship for your comms node. So I don't know if all of you can fit in the cockpit to use the radio, but you have TACnet, so.
Yeah,
I
plus
assume that I gestured to Vesper to take over from this point.
Well, you could forward it to her, but also, Vesper, do you want to roll kinesics on this?
I'll roll kinesics on this.
I was just curious, want to gesture for her to get in the room just so to take over the speaking, because it's I could.
Well, you guys have VPN TACnet, so you could literally just send a private brain message.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I rolled, what was that, 5 out of, let's see here, this is video, so smell it does not work. I cannot smell your fear.
I have enhanced vision, that doesn't do anything.
No, not right now.
It's still, 5/80.
Alright, yes, you also, like Alvos, pick up on the fact that this guy is nervous or guilty about something. But yeah, so he's kind of rubbing the back of his neck, and he says, "Yeah, I don't know what was up. I gotta check with Saboteur or whatever about that. I was working on a thing for her though before that she had to pick up.
I'll slide in. That's all. Just slide in. What was this? Mr. Wang, what was Ms. Yu working on? What did she need from you?
He kind of slight deer in the headlights as you just slide in to the room, and he's just like, well, I don't know what exactly she was doing, but we used to work together on stuff. She taught me some classes for my graduate. We did a lot of programming archaeology and stuff like that. He kind of babbles a little bit about in the fall, the computers, whatever. Maybe you hey, focus, Wang. And so he's like, yeah, I don't know exactly what she was working on. She came to me, she knew I was in the neighborhood of Locust, and she needed a special hardware-software package, okay? I built her a custom robot, but I don't know what they were used for. Let's see, so... The system was, there was a custom robot shell, and she had me design 2 AIs to run them. The Tortoise module and the Achilles module. So,
more notes, I got it right.
So the robotic shell and AI was Achilles. He basically says, it was a thin unit, not advanced like a synth. He gestures to Alvos, not like that all, but it's had limited interface and a covert ops expert system, so it would perfectly copy somebody's movements. And then it was equipped with a ghostwriter to carry Tortoise, which is a computational archaeology machine. It could scan exotic hardware and data structures, and perform rudimentary threat assessments and stuff, and quarantine itself. It's a programmer archaeologist in a box,
So, BrainNet sounds like, I'm saying BrainNet so that fucking Wayne doesn't hear this. It sounds like that Tara came to this guy to build something to contain or capture a fucking, maybe some Titan tech.
sounds
The
better.
BrainNet, it sounds like it was meant to go into the ruins.
But,
Walk back.
here's the question. Here's the second thing, though. Did this guy really just fucking build all this and not ask her any questions?
I assume he's freaking out because he doesn't want to say anything that might.
Presumably,
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure this guy's letting on to something more than he's known, but I'm not quite sure how to get it out of him.
1 sec, out of character, I'll be right back.
All
Okay.
right.
He probably
Yes,
doesn't
he's
have the
nerv-
skills for this anyway.
Yeah, he's nervous. He's been holed up for a month. Off the bat, that probably means he's guilty about something? Maybe?
On the bright side, I don't know if I should ask if we could keep it between us, but we just want to know where she is, and then we'll never have to talk again.
Well, as I said, I don't know, offhandedly, I don't think he knows where she is, but I do think he knows what she's doing.
And what happened, or something.
I don't know, but as I said, a custom, offhandedly, you don't ask, people to make you custom ass shit, and just be like, oh, no questions asked, here you go. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, this guy doesn't seem like that kind of guy, especially with someone who's been in the same field, who's worked together, they would, be friendly at least, share, talk about, what's going on, what they're doing. Actually, here's something weird. I just thought about this. All right, Professor Ming's firewall, Tara Yu's firewall,
This guy is not Firewall. You double check him on the eye. He is not.
so, like,
This guy is not Firewall.
so he's probably used to being kept out of loop.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Because, like, if you think of another way, archaeological computation is another way that people could probably look into fucking old-ass Titan tech and stuff.
Firewall cover, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Firewall
like...
fence.
It's a good firewall fence. And if he's in the same field, and yet he knows both of these people, why was he not put into the fucking network?
Alright, I'm back. What did I miss?
I'm doing big brain thinking right now. I don't know how much is actually fucking tracking, though.
Vesper and Alvos are just brain net thinking about what to actually, like, say to him, because it's like, we need to, like, be delicate.
Luckily, he, because of his nervousness, Wang is perfectly comfortable just rambling to you about technical shit.
Right, whilst this TACnet shenanigans is happening? Or-
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
you guys are having a very quiet-minded conference call.
Okay, so I'm going to keep him talking.
Okay, there's no test for that. You got him. You got him unlocked. You guys did all the pre-research. You know what he's about.
I'll try and talk to him, like, get him open up about the shell a bit, its specific specs, what was it used for, Tara's, like, just fact while we try to fucking plan and figure this out.
You unzip your space jumpsuit a little bit, show some cleavage.
Mm-hmm.
He was holed up in isolation for a month.
Well, I don't know, like, if we want, we could try, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a transhuman future. Sex is not a fucking, what's the word I want to use?
Highbrow thing.
Yeah, it's not a highbrow thing. Like, if you want me to go down and bang this guy and see if I can fucking fuck some knowledge out of him, I can.
Well, I don't know. Does I don't think your async has the info war package, sadly. Because then, boy howdy, you could get some real shit in here.
All right, but
we don't have a brain scanner. But anyway,
let's see here. So we need to do something to either.
I want to just ask you if, like, this must have been something pretty serious. If, like, you were going to, like, hold yourself up for a month, so it's like.
Oh no, that was a completely unrelated project. Everybody who's listening can roll kinesics.
Roll
had a
kinesics at a base. Oh my god. What's wrong with me? Why's my stat so low?
Because you're playing this guy.
Oh god.
48 out of 80.
Wow.
74 out of 45.
89 out of 70. He is fucking lying.
I need to buy some
Check
stuff.
some of the things.
Alright.
Ooh, critical success. And I gotta think of something for that. So yeah, all of you who passed know he's lying because he failed his deceive check. He's not in a good headspace to lie. Like, you guys get the impression that normally this man lies like a dog, but right now he's off his game. So you zero in with your critical success on kinesics, and you can let the others know this is however you want. But you get the impression as he's talking about the stuff beforehand, and you realize with his caginess, he's hiding something about the Tortoise and Achilles modules he made.
Makes sense.
With your crit success, so.
Okay. I'll just send a little bleep bloop message that's only to them.
Yeah, basically, TACnet, among other things, is you guys have a private Discord server, basically. So.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's so fucking nervous. I believe he's hiding everything.
Yeah, but we gotta.
I just think it's obvious.
You gotta find,
something
basically,
with
you can probably social skill him, or you could just, like I said, you could just fly over to his hab, punch in his door, and, club him over the head. But that would probably be bad. He's got a big rep on Locust, so.
Let's be good. Let's just try to social skill him, because I think.
But yes, if you guys can figure out the right kind of leverage, you could try and get him to spill the beans.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Wait, what was that? Wait, didn't he have a fucking group that he was a part of now?
The pod?
Yeah, he's part of Blue Pod.
Yeah,
Blue Pod. What are they about again?
The intersection of art and AI.
Art and AI. Okay. Anything we can leverage that way?
Do they have anything going on right now? Maybe an upcoming project? Because they are trying to intersect art and AI, right? The AI part is what kind of like.
Yeah, Wang's a big
interests
programmer. No, they're not. They don't appear to be working on anything major. Just small fine tunements. Probably going to have another party in a couple of days with some show off some new art projects, but nothing big.
Well, I am Well, other thing, I am a woman with a lot of fucking money.
You would just throw money at the problem.
Theoretically, yes.
I have a suggestion where we also can just kind of leverage its like. So if you have nothing to say, we're
I mean,
probably
also
gonna have to
you
report.
you have. I'm assuming your face has a lot of provoke. You could just tell him to spill the fucking beans, nerd. Give me your lunch money.
Yeah, let's do that because it's like we can't leave out nothing to tell back to like to the professor that we found nothing. So like you gotta at least give
Yeah,
us
so
something.
like whatever you want to, whatever angle you want to play,
say,
social man.
All right. Well, like I said, I can probably provoke, or I could probably bribe him.
Let's
Well,
try to provoke first.
You want me to try to provoke him?
I mean, like he seems like he's really guilty about it, so he might crack really quickly.
Is his sav rating? Is he good at this? Probably not.
All right. So
Yeah, go for it.
actually, hang on. Let me check these. I want to see what Moxie pools, because we have these pools. We should fucking use them.
Yeah, you guys haven't been. Well, you've been rolling simple tests.
Yeah. So, but I want to see what I can do with Moxie here real quick.
Yeah, sure. It's time to spend some pools. You got some stuff. You guys have spent, multiple hours here. You could have easily taken some refreshes if you wanted. Like, that's another important thing, by the way. None of y'all have needed to sleep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wow, Moxie can be used for rep and infection test. What?
I believe because those count as sav tests sometimes, or social.
Oh. Control your infection. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's a psi thing. The psi test.
Oh wow, I can refresh my rep points too. Interesting.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. So, so I guess I really don't need for Moxie right now. Oh!
Well, it does let you, remember, it any point lets you flip the appropriate skill, so, or get a bonus. So if you wanted to use it for the test, this would be...
Yeah, I'll spend a point for some provoke, as I'm gonna give this man...
What is that, a plus 20 before you roll for spending a point? Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna give him the most even kill look, and be like, Mr. Wang, we've been talking a lot, and you haven't been giving us much to go on. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you are a textbook case of lying and hiding.
So roll provoke.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled his
It's
sav
like, I
check
think
to try and resist.
You're clinically effective with lies.
It's all like, how about you stop giving us the runaround and give us to us straight, so that we may try and move on and find out where you're, I guess, yeah, I was using that, your dear,
So she is.
You care about your fucking
friend.
your dear associate has gone. Or else her continue missing status will just lay that much heavier upon your head. Let's see, so that is a 27 out of what? A lot?
Yeah, so you beat him.
Does
He
it
did
hit
roll. He did roll a 0-2, but that's way lower than what you rolled. So, he cracks like an egg. The line's. He leans in real close. He gets real conspiracy. The line is secure, right? Okay.
I've made sure. I've double sure.
Yeah, you guys have encryption software. It's secure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You asked me first to do her solid. All right. We go way back. You know. So.
Was that one of those heavy,
That was we
knows?
banged. You know.
Oh.
This and that.
Well, what people do in their own time is none of my business.
Yeah, no, I know. I was curious. Wanted that clarification. Yeah, no.
So we go way back. All right. So I designed the module like she wanted. It's, doing a friend an old favor. But she seemed like she was interested in some stuff that I'm personally interested in. So I maybe kind of sort of gave Tortoise and Achilles a little bit of an extra. So, like I explained, they're pre-sapient AIs, they're ALIs, they're pretty basic. They're pretty low level. But I equipped the hardware module with a QE-COM, so I could get instantaneous backup data to a storage facility I set up.
That's a qubit communications.
Yes,
module,
that's
right?
quantum qubit communications, which is faster than light. So long as you have the quantum entangled qubits to run it, you can send data, mostly text, but sometimes voice and video with theoretically no time lag. It's just really expensive and complicated.
Did something happen at this facility?
Well, hang on. Let me finish this story.
So I got the thing. Tortoise exported me some data of what you wanted to poke. She must have found something. I really don't know where she went. Okay, it wasn't like GPS data or anything. You don't want to waste your QE time on that. But I was able to get a copy of the data that Tortoise extracted and analyzed. So I looked at it myself. I had a fork do it, but the fork clearly hit some kind of like infection risk or something. It was really dramatic, so I had to scrub it and delete it and double check everything. And that's what I've been doing all month. Okay, I've been laying low. I've been double checking my computers to make sure everything is all right. So I don't know what Tara was into, but it was real dangerous and it really freaked me out. Okay, man. All right.
Could you
probably
repeat
did the
infection
smart thing.
risk with the fork?
No, it's deleted. I still got the data contained. It's quarantine.
All right.
Everything's quarantine. It's cool. I spent a whole month doing it.
Okay, so out of care. So brain mess. So apparently, this guy literally took a copy of whatever Titan Tech thing
Yeah,
is.
so you now know that, Tara, you found something. She had
Yeah.
her disposable AI scanner machine scan it, and then this guy basically snuck a quantum link patch into it to fishhook the data out. So he has his own copy of the data. The data was bad.
And then he
Very,
spent a month trying to
very-
make sure that it never got anywhere because it was fucking terrifying.
Very problematic.
So we're gonna have to like send a team later to like fix that problem later.
Oh,
I mean, you guys,
yeah, no, that's bad.
Yeah, like, you guys have, like, far more experience with this. That kind of stuff never gets stayed quarantine, right? It doesn't stay quarantine.
No,
I
it can. Air gaps and stuff.
with in the sense of with these people who don't quite know the extent of what they're dealing with.
I think if he spent a month going dark trying to keep it contained, I think we have enough time for a separate team to go get rid of go fix that.
Basically, what I'm trying to get at is I don't really trust this guy with his competence to not fuck this up.
I think he's afraid of not to mess with it for the time being. So let's not worry about that now.
Yeah,
We're about
but
the others.
he has a unquarantined sample of the stuff.
Well, that's probably something
Well,
we need
a quarantine
to...
sample of the stuff.
Okay.
Let's well, like honestly, if we can just tell him, like, all right, whatever you're fucking with, you shouldn't fuck with it. Destroy it, and you'll sleep that much better.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, go for it. Roll
Yes.
persuade.
Yeah, so I will, I'll give him a look of, sympathy.
So
It's
when
like,
you're
oh, you
giving
poor
him
boy.
this convo, is that like burn it now, or like, yo dog, could you tell me about it first? Like, what's your how hard on the what's the firewall isn't study, contain, protect. It's like contain, destroy, study. So
Contain,
what's your
destroy?
Well,
it's like
well, as I said, it's already contained, but like I said, I do kind of like, if I know like what Tara Yu's looking for, it might give me some fucking keywords to drop later. So I will ask, what exactly did he find? It's like, I'll just, since he's already cracked, I'm just like, Mr.
Yeah.
Wayne,
You don't have to persuade him to do that. He's like, oh, it's really unusual. I don't even know how to say it. It's like it's a software system. It's a digital. He calls it a digital vector.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I
Oh
wish
no.
I knew what that meant.
It's,
Out of
It means it's a
character.
fucking-
Oh boy.
and so it's like a really complex. It's kind of like a basilisk, but it's not. It overwrites the ego with something that I didn't quite follow. Obviously, I didn't have time to interrogate my corrupted fork. I only just caught it with my diagnostics. But it's some kind of passive computer data. Like, I think it was just junk OS data or maybe like scrapped AI data that was left over, but it had some kind of, like, I don't know if it was like a hostile like icebreaker program, or if it was like it was just infected with a computer virus, but it has some kind of attack on cognitive structures that are plugged in that vector unknown.
I will give you a warning in that you should be very delicate from this point, and make sure that doesn't see any light of day from this point.
No, we don't say that. It's like, Mr. Wing, it has been in my experience, such things on your hands and such things, they have a habit of getting out of your control in the most terrifying and horrifying ways imaginable. I think it would be very much in your best efforts just to delete the copy and never think on it again.
All right,
Persuade!
Yeah.
Actually, he can look at me. Does my stunning? He can still see me. So does my stunning?
Yeah, your stunning works. You're
yeah.
He's also probably in the same kind of line of thinking. So
yeah. Motherfucking booyah! 55 out of 100.
All right. He's like, okay. I'm deleting it. All right. You sure you don't? No, I'm deleting it.
All right. So that's one.
That's an X-Rix prevented.
Yeah.
All right. So, you now know that Tara Yu definitely found a thing that was bad.
Yeah.
Problem is we still can't run any closer to finding her, damn it.
We don't have a location still.
We don't have a location. And, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually. He said she doesn't know. It's all
She popped into Locust to do some additional research. Some of which you still haven't tracked down because nobody checked G-Rep.
I got G-Rep.
I got G-Rep too, but as I said, let's take our leads one at a time.
Sure. That's a moderate G-Rep, so I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you want to pull it, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, so basically, she came here to do some research, but while she was here, she called her old pal, her old flame, who is quite smart. What's his knowledge skills like in this? Like, he's got no skills. Yeah, he's got like a 70 in computer science, a 70 in engineering, so he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's got high-level practical skills and some of that stuff, so she contacted him directly to be like, hey, I need you to custom build some AI hardware for me and design a shell blueprint that I'm going to assemble off-site. But unknown to her, he snuck a QE hardware into there, and he basically, like I said, he had a computer backdoor, and he siphoned her data, and the data was bad.
And then he freaked out and spent a month basically trying to make sure it didn't get anywhere.
Well, yeah, so you understand from his story, he forked himself, so he made a copy of himself. It didn't sound like he did a beta, but he had a version of him look in the box at the thing, and it was bad, and he had to delete himself.
Oh, okay, that's what a fork means, gotcha.
Yes,
Yeah.
a fork is a copy of your personality, so...
Gotcha.
Beta forks are like pruned down, simplified versions of yourself. Those are pretty easy to spin off and to reintegrate. You don't know if he made a beta or an alpha of himself. An alpha fork of you is literally just another instance of you.
Gotcha.
Which is, you want to be careful about making alpha forks because they're the full you, they immediately start to individuate, which means after even very short periods, it's hard to merge with yourself because theoretically you're becoming a different person because you're no longer having the same experiences. Betas and, assuming the language is still deltas, I'd have to double check, but delta forks are real dumb. They are they are basically an AI template that has your expert skills and a vague impression of your personality. They're not even people.
They just do tasks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So that line is closed. We do have Morticia Bay to follow up on as
Bay.
well.
Yes.
Can we,
Well, as I said,
I was just gonna ask if I'm just gonna run, or whoever is more competent can also run a search on whether Morticia Bay is within Locust, or what she's up to, etc.
sure, is that a research?
Yeah, go for it.
I guess we'll cut comms with
Right,
Wang.
Tell him, all right, have a good day, bye. Click.
Have a good day, hope you sleep well.
Wait, what is that? Do you, because, we're all getting to the swing of the system, and do you guys want to, like, drop a line to Firewall that, hey, we possibly have an out vector here?
Should probably be made.
Have a team go scout that out. Go like.
Well, I want to I'm gonna scout, but put this man under surveillance.
Okay.
Yeah, survey.
All right. You flag him as a person of interest in the glory case.
Yeah, not so comfortable calling for an erasure team.
Yeah.
It's like, no. It's like,
no, that would be too obvious. But
like, put an eye on this.
Like this man apparently might have subverted an op. We got some hand on this. We convinced him then to delete his copy, but who knows?
The
We're
man's
again,
not sure how that goes.
Yeah, so this guy might be up to something.
Okay.
So,
All right. So, anybody who wants to look up Morteza Bay, roll research.
All right, I can do that, and my muse can assist me. So
Yes. Is there?
nanotests were minor, right? Yeah.
Ah, shit. Okay, the 2 zeros are. 2 zeros
Oh,
are-
that's always. Oh wait, no. 0 is always a critical success. I think
What? They changed
I got
it?
a 0
Yeah,
and a
'cause
1.
99 is
0, 0.
always a failure. 0 is always a success.
Interesting.
All right, so I got 0 0.
All right.
a
Okay.
1,
So I'll
so I got
give
literally
you
1.
the stuff. All right. Morteza Bay is a young person. He's only 22, and mostly his public presence is he maintains a gardening blog about his work with cultivars of broccoli, which may sound dull to you and me, but in the transhuman future in space is a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it's like Solar Earth shit.
Fancy food is nice.
Yes, it's real fucking broccoli. You find out that, in addition, so they are based on a small hab, a hydroponic hab that is also in the Locust neighborhood called Yu's Greenhouse, home of the famous Trojans Bok Choy.
How do we spell that?
Okay. See.
Yeah, that's the literal note in
Oh.
the adventure.
Home of the Pacho.
That is literally how it's phrased. Thank you.
That is amazing. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
you
probably
get a lot of
profitable.
information. Basically, you get the impression that because EREP's not its own network anymore, is it? I wonder if they.
Is not.
No, okay. I wonder if they have anything specific for reclaimers. Anyway,
E-rap?
yeah, that was an old network, but they've trimmed them down, so I don't know if that's a thing
Yeah,
anymore.
There's
It's
no
a reclaimer.
Yeah. So basically, Bay is known as a brilliant hacker. You're not sure why a botanist is a hacker, but whatever. You guys all have double jobs, so you know that recently Bay was involved in a romantic liaison with someone named Antonin Saul, who is a resident of Locust itself. So Z's greenhouse is again in the neighborhood, physically separate. Saul actually lives on Locust. He is a technician, a reclaimer activist, and an associate of Tara Yu. You cross-reference him with the name stuff. So, I don't know how the fuck to say this, but with your critical success,
Is it like the ultimate success?
you learned that Saul was part of a reclaimer group called that. Variegationist?
Variegationist?
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, they are an outer system group of reclaimers, and for those listening, the reclaimer movement is the movement to reclaim the Earth. Because the Earth is abandoned. But basically, they study Titan relics in order to figure out how to defeat and overcome Titan technology on Earth.
Oh, this is gonna be a strong. I think this is our lead, actually.
So,
This is paying all the pings.
yeah.
Okay.
And
This is a
that's
red
it.
flag.
Because this is the outer system, they can publicly say they're about that. They're like, we want to study. Is Iapetus still a thing in 2E? I hope it is.
Old Earth tech to remake Earth.
Yeah, it's in here. Engineering. Yeah, so they study Iapetus, one of the moons of Saturn, which was partially terraformed into a megastructure brain, basically.
How far away is that from here?
It's the next orbit over. It's a moon of Saturn. You're in the orbit of Jupiter. But you obviously, especially being Titanian yourself, would have heard of it. Iapetus is one of those big Titan question marks. They tried to turn a moon into a brain.
Okay.
And apparently it didn't work, but it's still freaky and weird down there.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just thinking of it, considering just we're looking for a location.
No, yeah,
so-
that's not a place relevant to this adventure.
Okay.
But basically, they study places like that to try and get a leg up so that someday they can come back and reclaim the Earth. So, while you know that he's an associate of Tara Yu, it doesn't look like she called on Saul for any favors, but obviously you know she did call on Bay. Yeah, basically, it seems like through their mutual friend, Anton and Saul, Tara Yu contacted Bay about something.
so they might actually know where she is or went.
Yes. So, your muse picks up and he's like, "Hey, you're looking up Ju's greenhouse. I have a news story about that. Look at this."
Oh.
So hey, there's some recent news. Just a few weeks ago, the Garden Hab was assaulted by unknown assailants who slaughtered most of the inhabitants, apparently as a warning. So they didn't, like, steal their stacks or anything. They just physically killed their shit.
Okay.
The local autonomous defense council is still looking into the matter. Any of you have decent app rep scores, including, Alvos could, like, look them up. But they could give you some footage if you wanted to do that to look at it, but we'll get to there in a second.
Okay.
And basically, none of the inhabitants are in any position to, like, be vengeful. A lot of them are still recovering from the experience via psychosurgery, so they've been, like, they're slowly being, like, re-sleeved and going to therapy and stuff.
Wait a minute.
In fact, with your critical success, you cross-reference that Mortiza Bay was listed as one of the deceased. So
Great.
Mortiza Bay was killed in this attack and has recently come back. So you want to keep that in mind if you decide to talk to him.
Okay, so
Oh, so you might have like some missing.
what
memories.
sort of organization's MO would not include fucking up, taking their egos or destroying their egos if it was
As
Well, it
a
sounds like
warning, could be anything.
That sounds like crime to me.
With critical success, if you want to, you can obtain the footage. That's a different clue. But with your critical success on research, your muse digs up some notice that apparently the Autonomous Defense Council is asking about it because they think it was ex-humans. Currently, that's their running theory.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Like what kind of like? I guess we see the footage to see what kind of weapons they were using. So like give some idea.
Yeah, we could see their morphs. Let's see. If they're
always
ex-humans,
the
that'll be
idea.
pretty obvious, right?
The
Okay.
footage should be like pretty high res. Yeah. So I assume that like
yeah,
I
so
think
this
it's Richard
is,
Vesper. She has a good enough at rep to like get the footage.
Yeah, this is surveillance footage.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to call in a favor. It's just they're autonomous. They believe in transparency. So you have good rep on the network. So you're like, oh hey, can I see that surveillance footage? Maybe I can help. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude.
All right.
So let's see.
I get it, and I guess I like show it to everyone. So it's like, okay, this is our next lead.
Okay, do you preface this in any way?
Oh, actually, it's like I guess it's like I'll look over it, and then like I'll tell everyone I'm looking over the footage. I'll tell if I see anything.
Okay. So
It's like I assume this is probably going to be like I'm going to tell them this is okay. I tell them I found the footage.
warning.
I found the footage, and then I'm going to look over it. But how do I? Okay, I'm now nervous. I'm just trying to.
Just watch the damn thing.
I'm just started watching it, and like I'll just tell what happened. And like, if it's okay, I'll just send it to them.
I'm just double checking some stuff. So
Oh boy.
let's see.
Organs and blood don't phase me, but we'll see if it's something beyond that.
I mean, you're not hardened to violence, so no, they still do.
Yep.
I guess if it's
so
like
yeah, make a
hyper-violence, yeah.
stress check. The video is not cool.
Okay, okay, it's that brutal. Okay,
No, it is a brutal assault. But yeah, this is a stress check, which is technically it could be both violence or the unknown, but I'll go with violence. And basically, these weird ass inhuman morphs, which I will describe in a little bit, but I do have an art piece. I warn you, the art is. I'll mark it as a spoiler because it's not safe for work. But
okay,
these naked ass evil alien looking motherfuckers bust on into this hab.
before I
and-
click this last thing, how do you re-spoiler an image?
Click off, like click to a different channel and come back.
Okay,
Oh.
just checking because it's like I have not opened it. It's okay.
Interesting.
Oh, okay, it's not that bad. But
Titties.
oh boy.
Yes, and that is an apt description. They are naked, so clearly they're vacuum sealed. They're armed with heavy weapons.
It's like a mix between like reptilians and like liquid formatted being, like humanoid liquid formatted reptilians.
So they're there are some regular looking humans with them in vac suits, but these guys appear to be the leaders. There could be like 4 or 5 of them you see.
Yeah, I can see how this probably would be like ex-humans or something.
And basically they look mostly alien. They have sharp teeth. They have long claws. They're they got like the weird digitigrade legs. And yeah, so make a stress test because
All right,
they
I think
basically
next time I
just
should probably set it to sit on or like Sinclair look at it next time. But what do you roll for a stress test?
will check.
So it's
Okay.
will times 3.
Yeah, whatever your will check
I got
is.
bonuses I got like bonuses for this.
Fuck, this is right. This is Eclipse phase 2E. I need d6s.
Okay. 68 out of 60, so like minor failure.
Alright, so you failed. So I will roll a die. So this is witnessing a scene of extreme violence or torture. You take 2 stress. So
Okay, where'd I
note
put
down that you
that?
got 2 stress. You don't take a trauma or anything yet. I have to look up how you get mental healing. But yeah, you take... Basically, in your little stress column, you mark down 2.
Alright, what's the limit to that?
If you take equal to your trauma threshold, you take a trauma, which means you have a little shock thing. If you hit your... This actually is changed in 2E. If you hit your lucidity, you take a disorder.
Oh,
You don't go catatonic anymore. That's when you take a disorder, is when you hit your lucidity. Basically, you gain an indefinite insanity because you have just been so under stress that your mind has to cope somehow by doing something dysfunctional.
Alright, my threshold's... I have a trauma threshold of 8. And
Yeah, so
35.
you've
That
only
should be
taken
okay.
2. It's not a big
Okay.
deal.
It's like-
Let me just
okay,
double
that's
check
a
how
shot.
you heal that. Stress points, stress categories, and yeah, that was 2 violence.
Who here is like used to that? Who's like okay, like
I don't think anybody is
hard.
hardened to it.
I don't think you can get really hardened to add character creation.
No, you could have bought hardening.
Oh, you could have? Okay.
Yeah. You definitely didn't because it gives you a -10 to social skills.
Yeah.
So let's
It's something
see.
that like
Natural
Ron, are you trying to say something?
healing.
Because I see a light coming on, but I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, I'm not saying
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
all right.
Everybody here? Everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, this is our lead, and
So yeah, if
I
you
said
want
there's no way to,
if
like-
you want to heal that, you get a free roll of int every month you get without acquiring new stress. You can make an int check.
I think I'm gonna save that for now.
Well, yeah, you it hasn't been a month, so you can't.
Okay.
And sometimes if you interact with motivations, otherwise somebody would need to psychosurgery you.
Good thing like my motivation is cooperation, so like I guess teamwork would be better.
Yeah.
So like I guess making progress on this as a team might
Mhm.
proc something.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody has medicine psychosurgery.
No.
None of y'all is a brain doctor, so you'd have to hire somebody for that. But we'll talk about that later. It's only 2 stress. He's got a trauma threshold of 8. He's fine.
He's fine.
All right, so from this point, I guess I have to like explain what I saw to everyone else.
Yeah.
Or like give an idea of like ask them if they're willing to look at it themselves. So, like,
Yes,
get
you
better-
could just tell them it's stressful. I have the video if you want to look at it.
It's a very okay. I have a situation. It's a very.
This one's
Do you really want to? It's amazingly brutal, and it's
Oh yeah, so
More than I
like
think-
the
custom made in the very brutal way.
oh yeah, and they're fucking murder machines. Like they're hacking off limbs, they're decapitating people. They like put a couple heads on pikes. Who the fuck does that?
Who the fuck brings pikes?
This
Brings
like,
Wait, are there fucking...
okay.
Like they
bring-
like pull out scrap spikes to throw people on.
Okay.
But yeah, and they're armed with some heavy duty bullshit. Like you see like some plasma
Oh,
being
great.
slung around.
Jeez.
Is it like stuff that like you have to like know certain people to get?
Maybe, yeah,
or
it's
just
definitely heavy duty
good
hardware.
Yeah.
But they're pretty, like I said, they're pretty brutal. You see a couple of these guys, and they're just they're gardeners. Okay, they're running a hydroponics lab.
Yeah.
They're like minding their own business. Like some of them maybe like pull out a flex cutter or a utility tool. They turn it into like gardening shears and just these things just overpower them. They're pretty strong, it looks like, and just take them down and just cut them apart. You're pretty sure. Actually, no. You'd have to make a perceive test if you want to like, or some other no skill to like hyper analyze the footage.
Let's see.
Is it medicine?
Biology.
Medicine forensics is a field, right?
I have like biology or surgical.
Yeah. That's not the apply. I'm just
Biotech.
wondering. I think that's a field.
I
That
have
would be the most
perceive, but I
aptitude
perceive
skill.
50.
Yeah, you can just roll perceive to like watch the footage.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I also
Milo
have,
wants to see it. Are you gonna watch it?
I warn him, but it's up to him.
Yes.
All right. Well, roll stress. It's
Sure.
pretty nasty.
Oh man, I can't resist. Like I'm like in character. I need to see this.
Oh, fuck it. Let's just put it up on the big screen. Fuck it.
On the big board.
Oh shit! I got a double zero again.
I also got 7 out of 60.
Oh, okay. You guys are both fine.
Let's see.
That's good because if you had failed that stress test, that would have triggered your PTSD.
I got 0.080 out of for my perceive.
Yep.
All
That
right,
means you
so
got
he
an
did
8.
really good. Everybody roll perceive.
Hang on, where
Okay.
is my fucking...
My perceive score.
It's Will, right?
And if you
Is it Will
have
times
any
3?
Yeah,
knowledge
Will times
skills you think would be appropriate for this, or if you have like I said, medicine forensics or whatever, you can also do
All right,
this.
let me take a look.
I do have biology and
Yeah. No, that's the thing.
Oh.
You would need the specified medical knowledge of like understanding that kind of violence to like
yeah.
crime.
I was just thinking
reconstruct
biology
this.
and what kind of morphs these could be.
Okay, so knowledge.
Yeah, you have biotech, right?
I have biotech as well. Yes,
Yeah, you can roll that.
And then, let's
I
see,
have biotech 60.
Eve.
Genetics.
Genetics
Perceive.
could, if you wanted to do about the morphs, genetics could work. But biotech, he's already trying to like reverse engineer.
Okay.
It's what kind of what would you use to design the shit? Okay, let's
I'm
see.
just going to go with perceive. Let's see our cells.
Okay.
It's
okay.
going to hardly be visual. So
Okay, so you guys spend after your initial gut check, which only the sensitive robot doctor freaks out about. Everybody else is just like, yeah, whatever, they're dead. So
okay. I'm trying
all
to
right.
see which of my bonuses apply for this perceive.
I mean, you're watching footage, so the footage isn't recorded in enhanced vision, so that doesn't count. But if you have any other visual perceive bonuses,
Okay, so I
I
got.
have endoscopic and enhanced.
It looks like I have oracles and heightened awareness.
right?
Oh, I actually also have a plus 10 for visual
So
perceive.
that's
So
going
it's
to be
actually
plus
perceive 60.
20.
Yeah, I only have enhanced vision, so I don't think that works here.
I don't even have that, but I rolled okay.
Yeah, because it's got a great base. All right. Wow. Okay. So we got a critical perceive and a double superior perceive. So these guys have good eyes. All right. So basically, you perceive it. You track all the information. You in fact do spot that Morteza Bay is one of the ones who gets decapitated and their head stuck on a spike.
Oh,
So
that's traumatizing.
yeah, they're probably not in a great
Mm.
mood. There's the stuff I count where you're counting guns, counting bodies. So for perception, you see, you want to say 5 of these big fuckers, and somewhere between, somewhere 6 normal transhumans in just, normal gear, vac suits, armed with basic weapons. Right? You're not getting anything special, right?
So do ex-humans normally operate out here?
You would need some kind of no skill for that.
Shit.
These are some pretty unique morphs, though. These can't just be running around
Yeah,
fucking
so
somewhere.
on
Yeah, so I'll get there in a
that's
second. I'm just double checking. Yeah, so the big boys, as you've come to call them, they're doing stuff like tracking. They're carrying heavy ordnance. They're dropping plasma rifles and stuff.
Are they ex-human hunter killers?
But they have like I said, they have teeth and claws. They know how to use them. They do use them. The plasma is neutralizing high threats. If they're not a threat, they play with their food a little.
Oh my.
Oh, it's fucking doom demons.
The regular transhumans in vac suits and stuff are just wielding pistols, and they're suppressing things. They're operating hardware because the big ex-human looking guys have those huge spindly fingers, so they have problems with tiny touchpads and stuff. It's real frustrating,
So it's the muscle and then the people actually running it.
Yeah. So so you've got a decent count. And with those high level perceives, you notice is it just you, or are there less body parts left over in the end of the footage than there were in the start of the footage? No, they definitely took some souvenirs.
So
Do we have cannibals or we have hunter killers?
Well, it's either cannibalism or trophies.
sorry.
You're probably gonna lean at cannibalism because head stayed, body stayed. This was a leg, an arm. And the broccoli, the fresh ass broccoli, and the bok choy, and all the gardening stuff left completely alone.
Goddamn, we know they're not vegetarians.
No, you know that anybody who launched a criminal attack on an outpost like that would steal that shit, if not to eat it, to
it's fucking
sell
valuable.
That's honest to god produce. That's a big deal. So that's what you get from like just observing the footage.
So this was
Biotech.
like really meant to be a message, yeah. What they think they did.
So first off, the regular guys in vac suits are in bouncers, so they've got like prehensile feet and stuff. So they're just normal ass space based morphs. But the big ones are unusual. Like I said, they're taller than normal. They've got that spindly, spiny look to them. Their skin is all, like, puffed and hardened. You're pretty sure that they've got vacuum sealing because they are literally naked, attacking, in, like, they did a hard hab breach, on, and stuff like that.
Spring muscle legs, like, their face looks like it's, like, fluid that's in the shape of a skull.
It's kind of like, got that weird waxy characterization. They obviously, it looks like they resist a little bit of damage, so they probably have bioweave. But you're looking at them and you're like, you notice some things. They've got, they also have prehensile feet. They also clearly have grip pads. With what you rolled on biotech, it's under your professional opinion that this is not a normal, custom biomorph. This is a highly mutated and unusual strain of bouncer.
Oh, that's
like they have all the same implants and genetic hallmarkers of a bouncer, but they also appear to have, like I said, grown claws and razor sharp fangs and.
Oh, so we've got ex-human versions of bouncers.
Well, you've got IREP. You would know about
what we call it, cultists or like
exsurgents. You know about infected humans, Titan vectors.
It'd be exurgent bouncers then.
Yeah.
Do you let us
also,
know
I need you, since you came to that conclusion, I need you to roll another stress test because the sanity.
Oh boy, just taking hits
shit.
today.
Okay.
Because this is versus the unknown, which you can't become hardened to. Cthulhu's are still scary.
27 out of 60.
Alright, you don't take anything. You're like, oh, that's weird.
Okay. That's worrying. So, I guess it's like, I basically pause the footage and point out, like, things. Okay, so, as I point to the bouncer, I point to this. Okay, so these are the same base of morph. You know what that means, right?
Well, it seems like a gene hacker had a fucking field day, apparently.
What does that mean?
It's a little more than that, because it's like, it's not even a custom job, it's like, it's a full-out mutation. Like, it's a full-time mutative growth. It's more than a custom job. It's like something that like you couldn't naturally predict.
It's malformed. It doesn't belong.
But it's like controllably malformed. Like it's purposely meant to be morphed.
Yes, you notice that it's not like a random infection, like they were diseased or something, because each of these 5 morphs have the same phenotype. They have the roughly the same external appearance, like on a theme. And I should note that even though the one in the art is female, they're not all female. There's mixed numbers of females and males, and I don't know the exact one off the top of my head.
I assume the one on the support beam is a male.
Well, my lovely little bot, we have a lot of information on the what, but we should probably be focusing more on the why.
Also the where.
I think
we know
the where's the
as in the where for where we're heading after this.
Yeah.
We're probably,
like, as I said, like for some odd reason, this lovely little hacker boy who just wants to, hack computers and grow broccoli got attacked by what seems to be a cannibalistic crime group that uses mutated morphs.
Sounds like.
By the way, I would
everyone's
like to
getting
remind
into
you,
things
you
they're not
did
supposed to be getting
actually
into.
get your identification that through VishnuCom, Tara Yu was apparently looking up a criminal organization called the White Cons.
Called the White Cons.
White Cons.
Oh, we should probably reference that, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, if we want to know more about these morphs, maybe we can drop a line to see who maybe uses it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty telling sign.
No check required. The look of these things is like, what the fuck? Nobody has encountered this exact specimen. That's why the Defense Council thinks they're ex-humans, because clearly it's what Alvos first thought. Clearly, it's like a custom job.
Yeah. So we should probably contact Bay, Mr. Bay. Yeah, Mr. Bay.
Yeah, Bay.
And find out why he was attacked, because I'm kind of wondering if these incidences are not related.
Dave.
Well, because think about it. It's been a month, right?
It's got to be related, because...
It's been a month.
It's been 2 or 3 weeks since the attack.
Yeah, so this was in the time window that Tara Bay has been missing.
Plus, we're getting a lot of pings on Titan presence, if you will.
So let's find out what... Let's contact Bay and find out what their role in this whole...
I have a worry that we might end up having to go to where these things came from to find her. That's not what it is.
We should have all expected this.
Let's not hope we can go to their base.
Locust says that as he pulls out one of his 2 blocks of plastique and points out how he origamied it into a crane or a moth.
The crane, the most optimal breaching shape.
You can throw it like a dart in microgravity.
The breaching bird.
But yeah, seems like everyone's getting into things they're not supposed to be getting into, and they're feeling the consequences. So,
well, let's I don't know. I'm pretty sure that my fucking actually, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get in contact with this guy.
Why not?
He's probably not going to talk to
out
anyone.
of character. What's your G rep looking like? 'Cause maybe
like I said, we might be able to push the criminal angle, but we need to I think I might do an investigation on the White Con. And you guys can try and get in contact with Bay, because, as I said, I couldn't get into contact with fucking, Wang. And this dude just got fucking, murked. He's probably don't want to fucking meet people either, so you're probably gonna need someone who actually has some good fucking, fucking rep.
We still have the chance that maybe someone
if you get in contact with him, give me a fucking buzz and I will come and sweet talk his ass.
Oh yeah, we will take separate lines of investigation.
But yeah, otherwise I'm gonna go look at this.
All right, so you're gonna go investigate, possibly by staying on the ship. Are you gonna do an even 50-50 split? The talker and the murder machine will stay here while you two go try and contact Bay. By the way, I say this like a split, you guys are literally just going to different sides of the shuttle to work.
Yeah, we're just going to, one go to the console, one's going to, the computer.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Doc, you've got good bedside manner. Why don't you try?
Alright, which scene do you want to do first? White Cons or Bay?
Do Bay.
Okay. Well, between the two of you guys have fairly high reps in the zones that you want. I need one of you to make a persuade test to basically write a nice email that is hey, yo, can we talk to you? We know that you've been through some stuff, but we need to see some stuff.
Okay, let me see if, my
If you don't have persuade, I do have some.
I have persuade 40, I just wonder if someone who has higher persuade, actually.
You guys could... This isn't, time sensitive necessarily, so you guys could teamwork.
Yeah, I was just curious who has a higher one, so,
You've got the higher one, so you shouldn't have the...
I was just curious because I could, if my muse had it or not.
I think you can only get teamwork from, one person at a time.
It said for what I checked for, it says you can get up to 3 people, up to 30.
Oh, okay.
It's the idea of your whole team.
Yeah, I don't
can
think
help
your
you
muse has
+30.
persuade though. That's not their.
I checked, he doesn't.
Yeah. So only plus 10 for one teamwork.
Guess it's 50.
Do you? Now's a good time to introduce complementary skills. Do you think you have a no skill that's relevant to your persuasion or not?
Let's see. No law, biology, surgical, cryptography.
Our muses have psychology.
Yeah, they do, but they're not making the test. So, but yeah.
You have biology.
No, I think in this case it would be how do I write a nice enough letter that this shell-shocked person is in a... Yeah, just roll with Persuade 50, and if you fuck up, you can always spend points of Flex or Moxie.
Yeah, I guess I can't have,
Well, if you have a point, you probably have at least 1 point of Moxie, but you can spend a point of Moxie or Flex, because you guys have still not used any short recharges or anything.
I don't really have any Moxie. But I do have 3 Flex.
So you could spend it before the test to get a plus 20, or you could save it for after the test to see if you can flip the numbers. So, if you roll a 91,
we'll
see.
Make it a 19. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's a 50, which is not that bad.
No, that's pretty solid.
Okay. I got 64, but I can flip it to get 46.
Alright, so spend a point of your Flex.
Awesome.
Flip them.
Alright. I'll just put that on my sheet, so it's
just
2
like-
out of 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
2/3.
And remember, you can... how many... Up to a max points can you get back with a short rest? Short recharge?
I get an extra recharge because of the circadian rhythm.
Thanks.
No,
1d6.
circadian rhythm is you can do a long recharge in 2 hours as opposed to 4.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 1d6 for points.
Alright, now's it good, because we have pools
I-
and stuff.
I got like 3. I worked on I used my points to get flex of 3 because this I knew it would be useful. So there you go. Okay,
short
so-
recharge.
With so not with Locust itself, I was able to make a decent enough thing. Then
Yes.
or
So, short recharge 2 a day. Oh, time for 10 minutes.
The what?
I'm okay right now. It's
Yeah, you get 1d6 pool points, okay. So yeah, you want to wait until you've lost more before you take 10 minutes, sorry. But yeah, so if you want to take it anytime you want to take it for 10 minutes, you can get 1d6 points back, but you probably want to make sure you're missing at least 2.
my connection went out, but yeah, I
No, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so you write a good persuade, and that's so it's he agrees to meet you in simulspace, basically. Like, okay, I'm not doing any in-person meetings right now, but I'll
It's like I
talk to
totally
some people.
Fair.
And
So
so
I think
you
depending
make
on how long it takes for Lucky, like how long it takes for Lucky and for Vesper and Sinclair to take, I maybe schedule it for at a later point. So it's like-
you could.
I mean, I
certainly
literally
schedule
do
it
have
if you
multi.
want them to do
I
that.
literally have multitasking.
It's like I wonder if Vesper could we got the meeting.
You could. I mean, yeah. You with TACnet, you could definitely listen into the conversation and still do mesh research.
Yeah,
because you are you literally have multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you were to talk, we got the meeting, you're going to talk to them.
Well, as I said, do some introductions and get put it away, and I'll come in and talk them up. But as I said, I don't know about you, but recently being dead and having strangers come knock on your fucking door is probably not the best of mine. So
Yeah, it's probably not. It's like
so once you get in the door, I'll ask if you can bring someone else in, and I will step in.
yeah, it's like we have a person that's better. It's like
Who
So
better
it's like-
represents our interests.
Ron,
who
it's like
wants
how
to
do you
talk to
think I should open this? It's like I just be careful because it's like Joy Rogue is I'm a person that's investigating the matter to
Well, just say you're a companion of Tengu, and we're concerned about her recent disappearance, so we've started a search effort to look for her. Our trail has led you to this. We express our extreme condolences over this recent mess, and we want is there anything that you may need? Act sympathetic, empathetic, offer aid, and try to get as much information out of them as possible.
Okay, my connection flatlined for the first 10 seconds of that, but gotcha.
Oh, sorry. Did you get the gist of what I said though?
I got the second of what you said, so it's
Yeah,
courtesy.
the tone is right. All right.
Yeah.
You set the meeting. Do you two have any particular opinions on what the simulspace should be? It's VR. It can be anything.
How about somewhere pleasant and calming?
A ski lodge.
I defer to the person with the bedside manner.
All right.
Mm.
It could be a nice ski lodge, nice comfy. There's a fire going. He's kind of warm.
I think we probably it's it's like the lobby of a nice resort, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. A nice lounge. Nice, relaxed. Okay. Well, you already made your persuade, so, yeah, he's like, so you're trying to track Tara, right?
Yes. And
It's yeah, I mean, okay, so I don't know about, specifics. He clarifies, I was actually, pulled from backup. My head ended up getting spaced out there, so they lost my stack.
Oh.
that's unfortunate.
But I do have some information about that I guess I can tell you since you guys seem trustworthy. He double checked your rep levels. I don't know what was really going on, and I'd love if somebody could tell me. But you came to me. I knew her through a friend of mine, Saul, and she needed to do some research and development with hacking and stuff to work on a project. I thought this was a reclaimer mission. We were gonna isolate maybe some rogue Titan modules that somebody had, or some old subverted drones or something. I didn't think it was any WMD type shit.
So you knew it was dangerous.
But it was supposed to be an op. So I'm a little unnerved about this situation, but what I do know is that she was gonna do a run. She was looking into these guys, the White Cons. They're a gang. I don't know much about them because, my backup thing. I assume that they traced me, which is why they attacked the Hab, but obviously this me doesn't know. That's
We're not
weird.
going to push it on you.
No, that's fine. But let me just get it out there, because we're having a nice calm chat, aren't we? You lovely people. You're not reclaimers, are you? No? That's okay. Tara didn't tell me anything either. Other than that, we were going after the White Con's hideout. They have a ship called the Songhai Flower. I forked myself.
All right.
To go with her. I sent a beta fork in a synth morph to ride back up. Oh, let me spell it for you. Songhai Flower.
So that is very
a ship of theirs.
a ship
so,
of
yeah,
the Cons.
I assume that it sounds like the way he describes it loosely is it's like a compact transport or something.
Oh, okay.
Not like a full size like bulk hauler or passenger liner ship, but something along those lines, but similarly shaped.
Okay.
I'm sorry, was this a destination or?
Yeah, this is their destination. He says that this is the White Con's hideout. Is they own a ship called the Songhai Flower. That's how they get around, assholes. But she wanted me to do some research on it and do some double checking stuff, and I sent a fork. I sent a fork with her to man a synth morph to kind of give her some backup. I don't know. She had some custom hardware stuff involved in this. I don't know exactly what she was doing. I guess it was just something about computer hardware, from before the fall, that apparently the White Cons own. And so we were trying to investigate and retrieve this hardware. I want to know what's going on, but I figure you guys probably won't tell me.
It's probably for the best.
And actually, is there a good picture? Because he says he has an external image. So, I don't know.
Once we get the image, I think Alvos was like, thank you first time, and it's like I hope that you make it through this, and we're going to make sure that this is solved, so this doesn't lead to more future confrontations if possible.
Okay, so this is a artist's interpretation based on the schematics that I have, which Bay explicitly says he does not have schematics. He's like, it's a really old ship. There's not a lot of extra infrastructure. So we didn't really have any mapping, and my fork didn't send anything back to me or anything. But I don't know. I could, I guess, give you some intel about where we were going with some vid clips. Because basically my fork was acting as a backup. She had some intel bugs. They transmitted some data to me. The bugs talked to my fork. The fork talked to me. Okay, which was still safe. Those dumb gang members didn't think to raid our hard drives or anything. They just killed me. So I've still got the surveillance data that we gathered. I can send to you. I could give you some other stuff, but I don't know if I should trust some other randos whose names I don't know. What? Yeah. Do you want to tell me what Tara Yu is doing? They have stony silence. Okay.
I tell you in the
we're trying to understand that ourselves because we're worried that it might be.
Oh, you're worried about her. Okay. Sorry, I'm being rude. It's my reason for leaving.
We're just trying to do.
Here's the surveillance stuff, and
like you said before, if this is a gang that has something involving Titan tech, that might not be the most safe thing to discuss.
Yeah, you guys are just regular old agents of peace. So, somebody needs to make me a persuade test with I'm going to call that a -30 for your drastic unhelpfulness to him.
This is 0 for me.
This is me as a person being bad at this. God damn it!
The text of your responses was the point. You were being nice, but indirect, which is not what he wants. He's
gotcha.
no need for kinesics since I know you guys are good at it. He's he's trying to maintain politeness because, he's a hardcore anarchist, so it's like, there's no need to be rude. But he feels a little upset and used because he was part of a violent altercation, which he doesn't remember why he was there, and clearly, whatever Tara Yu was doing was not what she told him she was doing, because the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, then I wonder if it's like I think it's more like I just have to like tell him like.
Well, we just got to make the minus 30. It's there and done.
I mean, you are in TechNet, so you could, you can teamwork with.
I would like this one help because I'm just trying to where it's like
All right, so we're in TechNet, so I'm going to give you some mental coaching on what to say to this guy. So you're going to get a plus 10 for me, okay?
All right, it's nice.
And in the simulspace, Locust is still there, so he can assist too. So
like I said, I told you, Axe, if you wanted me to like swamp out, you needed to do that.
All right, I just didn't think it would like. I thought I was just gonna get it like quick and done.
No, it's fine. It's totally
No,
I just didn't think like me not knowing. I was like, it's like I'm just not sure. I just don't want to say too much because like me as a player being inexperienced doesn't know what line not to cross. So it's like I'm being extra cautious as a person, not character.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, but that's the thing. You're part of a secret conspiracy, so
I'll try to.
It's hard.
I was trying to say we should keep things as under wraps as we can.
Yeah, no, like that's the other thing. Locust explicitly said, "Let's not say anything." No.
Yeah, it's just because it's like the guy already knows it's like something involving Titan tech, so it's like I can't really talk about it more because it's like it could be something dangerous.
I mean, part of it is like we really from my character's point of view, I don't want to put this guy in more danger than.
Yeah, it's like we don't want to like.
I have to.
Know anything that could be
and
dangerous.
I want to communicate that since.
Okay. Oh, if you would say that, you were being pretty quiet during that discussion, but okay. We can say that's more of a. He's
like,
still not happy because you're not telling him anything, but he's all right. Fine, I don't want to be done with it. Just here's the stuff, and we'll take it down to a minus 10 because Locust basically jumps in and he's like, "Yo, listen, we're just trying to save you some trouble, okay? You don't want to be involved anymore, right?" And he's like,
"Look, man, you really got your fucking habitat hit."
All right,
we're trying to keep this like we're trying to make you stay out of this, so you don't have to worry.
All right, so roll persuade now with your minus 10, but plus 20, so plus 10 total.
All right, so that'd be 50 again.
Remember, you always have flex.
Yeah, I do. 61. So I'll have to flip that. So 16.
Okay.
So.
All right. So he's not super impressed, but he's like, "All right, whatever. You're gonna finish it, so those assholes aren't gonna bother me anywhere. Here's the navigational coordinates to the Sonkai Flower. I don't have any schematics. All right.
You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. Good. All right. So he logs
I
out.
hope you have
done
a good
now.
day. And may may hope that this never bothers you again.
Yeah, me too. Thanks. Mm-hmm. He logs out. All right.
Okay, that went okay. That went as well as I thought it would go.
So you have 2 video clips that you can look at, and like I said, you've got a picture of the thing on the outside. Yeah. But let's roll over to what Multitasker is doing in this time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Multitasking.
I think we know a direction of where we're going now. So.
Well, you got a location, but I don't. You've seen these guys up close and personal. I don't know if you want to just roll up and bust in. I have seen groups do that method. But yes, plan of action. So first off, do you have any relevant no skills like triads, criminal groups, orbital crime?
I just have black markets.
All right, they're not necessarily a black market group, so that doesn't work. So roll research.
Research. Fucking Muse, help me.
Apparently you can have the
you probably want me to help.
So if what's his face Milo has research, he can help you.
I have no research.
Okay, he can't help you.
Muse has research,
but that's fine. I got this.
Yeah, your Muse can't really help other people.
My knowledge skill is transhuman actions.
Nah, this is a little more specific than that.
Okay.
So my dude. 1 second, guys.
Well.
I wonder if it would be better if, like, I looked at the gangs, but I guess Brother Lucky has the wrap stuff.
Yeah, if anything came up.
I guess if Lucky finds something, I can, like, look deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we ever need that in pinch.
I mean, at least I feel like we're probably the next plan of action is we'll probably end up, like, having to, like, survey, like, that place, and I assume that, like, Ron, I think like your character's probably gonna be better at like handling how we're gonna like get in and like
Alright,
figure out what's going on.
Right. Yeah, honestly, we're probably not going to assault the Sunkai Flower tonight because we're already at like 2.5 hours, and I know that you guys
Yeah,
don't
we're
wanna go
probably
too
like
long.
that's probably the beginning of the next session.
Almost, I think 3 hours.
We'll
Almost there, yeah.
cliffhang as our shuttle hurtles into the.
I mean, I'm looking
unknown
at the
of
recording
Sunkai.
timer, so I know exactly how long it's been since we started recording, which is pretty soon. But okay, Researchman.
All right, researching. Where's my character sheet? Sorry, my roommate came in and was on to talk. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, guy? So, let's see. I have a 45 in research. That's plus 10. 55. I'm going to roll the bones. I roll a 38.
Okay. So,
that is
the
not
White
good.
Cons, you get a decent number of information about them, which you sift through with your research.
Mm.
So, overall, you find out. Let's see, is there a separate sector? Is the White Cons? So, the White Cons started as a Hanoi triad.
Okay.
So they were a group who had a controlling interest in some scum barges and refugee ships, based on Southeast Asian, like Vietnamese, Laotian, Cambodian orbital colonization efforts, which broke off and become scum because that's kind of how that works. And you know that their big claim to fame was that there was basically during the Battle of L4, and you guys can go back to stuff about Vishnukan, which is a site where a lot of the Thai government in exile is located. So a lot of ex-Thailand officials. They recovered a lot of hardware from that attack. There was an incident known as the Oxygen Deck Riots, where basically a lot of people were forced to be mass uploaded due to overcrowding to relieve research pressures, which required which it basically turned into a huge riot because these people had physically escaped from the fall with their bodies intact. So it was a big deal. There was a lot of fighting between intergovernmental, the governmental militia and riot cops and the refugees. Racked up a few thousand dead. But during this time, the White Cons stole a bunch of military hardware and supplies that the Thai fleet had recovered and sold off most of them. And then when order was restored, they just blended back into the populace.
Oh,
so they have some like literally like pre-fall tech still on them. Shit.
And you, with your research and with the fact that you're just about to cross-reference these guys, they managed to buy a small freighter, the Songhai Flower, and basically they flew it away as their secret hideout. They gave it a dart casting relay to set up egos to go, and based on their initial purchases, they outfitted the Songhai Flower with heavy-duty reactors, food vats, volatiles, and then they hijacked a booster rocket from the government fleet and they flew to the outer system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much like it's a mobile habitat.
Yeah. And now it's still relatively small as far as like heavy duty transporters go, but it could easily carry all the crew that you've seen already from the White Cons.
Like 10, 15 people.
Yeah. A couple dozen overall. It's got its own small hab ring, which you can see there, so it's got spin for gravity, it's got grow houses, it's got a reactor mass. So, because you got some higher level successes, you track their story a lot to what they're doing, and you find out that previously they were a pretty typical triad group, right? They were a little small time, but they smuggled. They made a lot of their pre-money, but when they set it on their own by selling off all that hardware over time. And then they mostly worked by working as informants, so they would, sell out civilians to the government for cash. They traded in illegal goods. When they got out here, they mostly, they mostly work in the basic triad businesses, extortion, smuggling, illegal goods, leg breakers for hire, kind of thing. So you hear that about a so they've been using it as a mobile safe house, basically, as they teleport, they ego-cast out to do their stuff. But you hear that about a year ago, there was a coup engineered by one of their members, Dexter Vo.
Okay, new name.
Who took over as he was not the previous leader of the organization, but he is now. So he took over leadership, and as opposed to their traditional rackets, where they run they use the Sunkai Flower as their safe house, and they teleported to other locations around the main belt on the Jovians, and like I said, running their usual protection rackets, smuggling weapons, drugs, illegal tech, information. Since Dexter Vo took over, they have become increasingly violent and have stopped tending to their traditional rackets. This means that other gangs have been moving into their territory, and they do not retaliate. But you do know that White Con members have been tagged in certain almost random violent crimes over the past year since Dexter Vo took over the leadership.
Okay.
Well, that's a paper trail.
Yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat that last bit? That might cut out for a bit.
So Dexter Vo took over about a year ago, and basically since then, the short version is that the White Cons have moved into more violent cult-like behavior.
Okay. There was something about a paper trail. They were
they haven't been doing actual crime stuff. They've just been
fucking
doing
shit.
random acts of violence time to time instead of actually protecting their territory.
As far as you know, there are not any active members of the White Cons out and about anymore. They've all either retreated back to their safe house, the Songhai Flower, or they've basically effectively stopped being White Cons because there's no support network.
You're right.
So they...
So this is, I think we got an X-Risk on our hands.
So...
And
if I'm putting these dots...
there's still a moderate G-Rep favor you could call in to track on Tara Yu's networks.
Favor, I guess. I think I might have... Fuck happened.
Alright, you want to roll your G-Rep?
Yeah, I'll roll my G-Rep. Let's see here. I rolled a 52 out of 40, but I can flip that, right?
Yeah, it's a test. I'm pretty sure you can flip it. With Moxie.
Yep,
I'm
gonna flip I'm gonna spend my second point of Moxie here.
Alright, you discover, backtracking into her list of associates and things, that Tara Yu used her network connections to track down and talk to somebody called Nia Zheng, who you can look up further, and in particular, that yes, she was interested in, she was trying to track down WhiteCon members, WhiteCon activities, and their hideout. It is at this point that you guys can hive mind again, and the team has been given some video clips and some coordinates. Do you want to watch some videos?
I'll watch some videos.
All right, you have
When the
two
GM
clicks.
asks if you want to watch some videos.
All right, throw it up on the big board. Can you buy holo projectors?
Why not? But
Let's see this shit in 8K Ultra HD.
oh yeah, we can't actually see. We can't perceive 8K.
Ours is 16K.
I mean, is the transhuman future? It's probably 16K.
But
Fucking
also, we can't even
nanopixels.
I thought we only could perceive up to 8K, but I guess we'd have 8K because 816 because even we can't perceive that.
All right. Well, hey, probably with enhanced vision you can. That gives you 5x magnification.
Yeah.
All right. So clip number 1, the smart dust. It's a smart dust camera, so a surveillance cloud. Cuts to a close-up 2-dimensional shot of a mass of wet noodles being slurped into an immense mouth. Around this mouth, you can see a scraggly mustache dripping with broth. There's a AR graphic that is calibrating based on facial recognition, it notes a specific mole on his face, and scans him, and it blinks. It says positive ID, and it gives a 3D image of his viewers and his surroundings. You see dimly lit, cramped quarters of a freighter, and the positive ID is one Dexter Vo.
Oh.
So he looks a little something like this.
That's a body in the background.
Those noodles are very red, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Awesome.
And so
That's where that image is from.
Vidya number 2. You've got a collection of spec-bot footage from Yu's actual infiltration attempt. She said some bots spread out through the area of the ship. Because you have identified some things. So you, one of them is in what looks like a utility bay, off a docking spar. It looks like it's got the big central area of the ship. So that straight thing coming off is, I believe, the docking spar. So that big room right there is the utility bay.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on your image of this, there's this, you can see that there's a solar panel outside, there's service airlocks and standard airlocks which lead to various sections that are marked, so you can see that there's 2 docking spar, 2 greenhouse, 2 reactor module. And you can see, kind of in a rough sketch, this is a well-equipped but poorly kept utility shop, so there's a lot of workstations here, lots of stuff that is stashed here, like tools, service crawl spaces, infrastructure lines. A lot of maintenance is done. So that's you see that in one of the cameras. In another one of the cameras, you can see a medical bay and a machine shop in 2 other camera views. So let me look at those because I'm scrolling around a little bit. So the machine shop doubles as a drone bay. You're not quite sure where positionally the machine shop is on the ship design.
Mm-hmm.
You just know that it's on the ship somewhere. And it the contents of the machine shop is basically there's a fleet of harvester drones here racked. So harvester drones, collect all that stuff. They get raw materials. Raw materials are, in fact, abundant in here. It's got a lot of material storage. They've got a large fabber in here.
Mm-hmm.
So, a standing unit and a number of small auto cooks, for household manufacturing. Tools, smaller machines. You see a industrial airlock, which has a pair of rocket sleds, which look like they're designed to tow heavy equipment or be used to go outside and maneuver along the outside for repairs. They have a rack of vac suits here outside the giant service airlock. You see in the back a joint for something rotating, so this machine shop must be near the Taurus that rotates. And you also notice there's a series of storage bins stacked in here, under the workbenches. Just clear plastic storage bins. The medical one, what's that? Okay, so the med bay, you notice the way the camera is slowly rotating. It must be on the Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
You see a medium desktop fabber that might actually be specialized for medical stuff. You see a series of morph storage tanks. They've got an ego bridge in here and 4 healing vats. A full-blown surgery suite. And looks like they've got 4 healing vats and 10 morph storage pods, roughly half of which appear to be occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Based on just, you're just seeing micro camera bugs scanning the rooms.
Yeah.
So you know that those 3 rooms exist on this thing, plus some more data. And then also, the one in the service area catches video footage of Tara Yu and the Achilles bot. They're both chameleon chameleon skinned or chameleon cloaked, but there's an AR overlay which tells you their positions via silhouette. So you see you and Achilles enter the room and then flatten against the wall as one of the other doors hisses open, and you see a male, one of those weird ex-human-y looking guys, walk in, kind of look around, like sniff the air, kind of shrug, and just wander in the next room. And that's all the footage you got. So you have fragments of surveillance footage.
So I think I have. So we have I think, ex-human cult. Their cannibalistic leader. And
I don't think. Well, I guess a cult would be the thing, but I'm pretty sure what happened is someone touched a fucking button they shouldn't have, and they got infected with something which transformed them. Probably Dexter Vo, which caused the white fucking cons to collapse as they focus on their new outlook on life.
which caused that coup you mentioned, and now they've been drained.
Now they basically hold up on their fucking ship. Then enter one Tara Yu, who comes to infiltrate and find out what the fuck is going on here. And considering that the white cons found out that someone was sniffing around, and Tara Yu has not reported back in, Tara Yu is probably either infected or dead.
Well, you're under orders to recover her stack if possible, or her ego.
Yeah.
Or if you find a registered verification of death, you could go to her insurance company, but, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So does anybody have, what are the hardware groups? Is it hardware space ships? I will someday remember all my new old, skill fields.
I don't have any hardware skills, so...
Hardware, sample fields, aerospace. Does anybody have hardware aerospace?
That's negatory.
Hardware industrial.
I got engineering.
Okay, maybe. Hold on. Let me put a pin in that. What kind of nose skills do you guys have? Do you have anything about... Because you have an external picture of the ship from the surveillance data. Do you have anything related to habit design, spaceship ops, anything like that?
That is a no.
I'm computers and people.
Other than no engineering, I've got nothing.
Yeah. Alright, you can roll engineering. This is technically an engineering problem. I just wanted to know if anybody had anything more specific.
Alright, let's roll this sucker. That's 38 out of 75.
Okay, you notice, looking at this external footage as you're kind of like flowing back, trying to figure out, so is that thing the utility bay? No, that's got to be the drone bay because it's next to the crew Taurus. So, you first of all, while dulled a little bit by vacuum ablation, the Sonkai flower has a red coat of paint on the Taurus, and the axles are that rotated are green, so it's supposed to look kind of like a flower, but it's been like really grayed and ablated away. The design is pretty typical for a pre-fall freighter design. It's it's like a miniature bulk carrier, only this has a crew Taurus added, which is kind of interesting. Makes it, like I said, basically a mobile hab. But you notice that there's a series of haphazard fusion rockets glued onto the additional space in the back. Some of these are not complete, and some of the welds aren't complete, but yeah, they have been adding additional engines to the final module of this thing in a very unprofessional, haphazard manner.
I highlight the image, or that portion of the image, like, alright, those things? Fusion rockets. Some of them are done, but they're obviously planning something.
Are they planning to go somewhere and hit hard?
And I would let you know that, yes, those are not attitude or reaction control thrusters. Those are all main thrust engines.
That's all burn.
They're trying to hit something.
Well, I don't know, this might be a little bit of out of character knowledge, but there's one thing I know about fucking exsurgent viruses and Titan tech is, they like to fucking self-replicate.
Oh, they're trying to send them. They're gonna try to send plants.
All right.
Yeah, that's out of character knowledge, but yeah, that's
knowledge done.
But yeah, fucking.
I mean, we're all IREP people. We're all
kind of
fireball people. So it's we vaguely have the idea that something around that area.
I can definitely say that I can definitely tell in character that is not right.
Nope.
Weird.
So,
That is-
do you guys want to try and run down Nia Zheng? Or,
Well, let's.
you know...
Well, here's the thing. Like, if we go like we know where we got to go, but like the question is how are we gonna go about it? I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if 4 people is enough to storm a fucking ex-Triad, now ex-human base on their home fucking turf.
Well,
Yeah,
don't always
I
have
think
to
we
do
might
it
need
up
to,
front.
we need something
I-
to scout it out. So, Locust, what do you have as an idea?
well, I'd like to. All that information I got was more of an external, just giving the
Yeah,
exterior-
Bay told you because it's so old, it's pre-fall, and was
Mhm.
well used before then, there is an internal mesh network, but it's not externally broadcasting, so he has no idea what the modules are like. They've been ramshackled, and as we've just discussed, none of you have the hardware skill to dissect this thing from an external picture. You know for sure it's got a rotating crew torus, which you know at least contains a medical bay.
Well,
I will know you know that there are at least, let's see, there's 5 big boy insurgents, and there's, you would guess approximately 8 biomorphs, of just vanilla humans, because you saw, you counted 6 crewmen. You didn't see Dexter Vo there, so he probably stayed on the ship, but you know he's on the Sonkai Flower. And maybe Tara Yu's body is still there, so, you know, she could have been captured, turned, whatever you think, or she's dead. But, so...
Well, her body's probably there, or unless they ate her.
unless they ate her, but you don't know.
There's probably
So
some
there's
fragments of her body left.
7 or 8 normal conventional biomorphs, and then 5 serious ones. And I will tell you, since you figured out those are plasma rockets, you fly spaceships. You know that plasma rockets are fueled by fusion reactors. It's basically you let the reactor vent the fuel mass. So they have to have a probably very unsteady at this point if they're bolted so many fucking reactors to it. But they have to have a fusion reactor module stuck on this thing. Right.
Okay, so I'm going to refer to my Saboteur knowledge. Can I ask my brain? Can we scuttle this fucking thing without wiping all of us after? Okay, because our objective is just to confirm Tara Yu's fate, right?
Well,
No, so your mission op
extract
is
it.
1, find out what happened to Tara Yu. If she's alive, help her complete her mission. If she's dead, recover her stack, and if necessary, continue her mission.
Okay,
So you know
Question.
that you're after X-Titan hardware, physical Titan modules, which it sounds like these guys have. So, continuing her mission would be to ID the Myrmidon hardware and presumably destroy it if you can't recover it.
right, because my thought was
Out of
What's-
character idea.
Well, no, why an outer character idea? Say it in character.
I wonder if maybe our Locust here can infiltrate it, scout it out.
Well,
maybe.
You would not want to send one man
Yeah.
versus so many. Look what happened
No,
to Tara
no,
Yu.
the point is he doesn't do that. It's meant to just see what's inside, get out.
Well, there are plenty of remote options for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their drones are a thing,
Yeah, true. I guess we need drone safety at first.
but
So,
that
Well,
still means
I'll give you plenty of prep time. We're basically do you guys want to get one more lead, or are we done for the night and we're going to prep?
I would like to, if possible.
But yes, if you're thinking about sabotage, yes, you know that basically there's a magnetic containment field which keeps all the plasma doing a thing. It's a standard tokamak type reactor. If you cause catastrophic failure containment, superheated plasma will escape containment, and if it's a small breach, will flood the chamber with a jet of super hot plasma and intense EM radiation. If you manage to cause the whole containment to fail, you're talking catastrophic fusion bomb detonation.
How large is that?
Well, not
Oh
large
man,
enough.
they have to have a lot of reaction mass to hoof all those engines. It's going to be basically for every extra engine they have, that's another extra yield. It's going to be big. You're talking catastrophic structural failure.
So, I guess it's how, if we have to get rid of everything, that's our option.
That's basically
Well,
what I
yeah,
was
basically, I'm telling you, you don't have to shoot every single one of these motherfuckers individually. You could get your bomb guy into the reactor module and have him...
That's exactly where I was going with
Yes,
this.
if you put
I
him
don't
in
wanna
a
deal
box
with
with
these
some bombs,
motherfuckers.
he can make it go boom.
'Cause once I,
You guys will want to be at
before
minimum
that,
safe
we need
distance
to
for that.
we need to investigate inside the place
Sure.
first.
If you want to scout
Well,
first.
I would
Well, we
like
have to. Well,
Fine.
like
Keep in mind,
have-
I would like to remind you that as of this point, as far as you know, there's not really stealth in space. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
nope. They're gonna ping us as soon as we.
Now that does
Yeah, they
that
don't
does
have
raise
masks, unless
logical
you want to,
questions.
like-
How did Tara Yu get on board? She was very sneaky. But that's a thing for later.
I think we should.
You guys will
question them.
probably, for the sake of comparison, you guys will probably want to go to Casa Arturo because you know that she went from there to the location and basically
Yeah, we got
refuel.
experimental ships, you know.
So
we
maybe
got
you
some-
could get a system,
Oh,
or
we should probably.
you don't
I
know
guess
what
we-
happened to the Kesria.
yeah, like I think they
Worst
should
comes
just
to
borrow-
worst, like if you want to do this real hardcore, motherfuckers, you guys just put on some spacewear and fucking walk.
Yeah, there's always the
No.
half-hour float into
No.
in the
a
abyss.
couple hours float in the.
No.
Oh yeah, look, that would be uncomfortable, but yeah, like you can do a lot of things, and I'll let you guys like plan your mission plan out later. But this is just like I said, we're coming up on we're
Okay,
over
that-
3
do you
hours
guys
of
want-
recording.
Do we want to talk to like? It seems like we know like why and what happened. Like, so I guess like
Let's
any
just-
of the leads would just fill out details.
Yeah,
Let's see
just
if
like
he has an idea of how she got on the ship.
I
Well,
mean,
I
I'm
said,
sure
like-
it was an experimental, like the experimental ship.
Like I
is-
said, like
If it's-
maybe
yeah.
like the only other thing I think is maybe they're like maybe one of the ex-white cons knew a way in, or they knew something. I don't know, but either way, I'm kind of okay with like putting that on the burner till next time
Yeah.
because we're already over 3 hours and people got shit to do.
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, okay.
I think we made progress.
All right, so notes to stealth.
Yeah, so I'll say
I'll-
everybody can take. You don't need to take long, so everybody can take a long recharge basically and rest up for next session.
Can I recover my flex points?
Yeah, you can recover any spent pools.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I got
Fine.
this was a lot of fucking note taking.
Yeah.
Welcome to EP again.
But I do remember.
Though it's
Okay.
funny, there is an EP scenario I'm writing right now where I'm just like, fuck all that boring investigation shit. Just assume that the players have done all of it because it's EP. That's what they do, and just move on to the real action.
We're fucking
Yeah, but
we're
you-
extra investigators. It's like it's kind of what we have to do.
But I
Well,
do
yeah,
Well,
you
so-
would not want to
remember
stumble into
our-
this situation dick first with no warning.
Yeah.
So like, I think the way we're gonna have to probably take this, if we're gonna set it, is we're gonna have to take an infiltration mindset first, sabotage mindset second, and probably a
Yeah.
combat mindset third.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like
And only
we're in no
do-
position to like.
I mean,
I only do combat if we have a.
So guess what?
situation
You know what
that
we're gonna be doing fucking next session? Mother fucking shopping.
we're gonna prep for a fucking Splinter Cell mission.
So,
honestly,
do you guys want any of these thoughts to be on mic, or are you okay rounding off?
I'm right
Round it
now.
off.
I'm actually curious if like at the end of this is being the end of the session. What do you think of what you did so far, Omega, as our GM?
I mean, you guys are doing fine. I was actually going to talk about some of that off mic, but I can talk about it on mic. Or just like, I'll let you guys know I've run Glory over the years for several people, several groups and things.
Including me, I believe.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't mention it
and,
first, but yeah, this was actually the first thing we ever ran in EP1.
Me and I think James.
But that was like 10 years ago, so I'm assuming you guys don't remember the details, so that's okay.
I'm like, now that these sort of details are popping out, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but yeah, I don't think there's
Well,
any
that's how you
meta
play it.
knowledge here. But yeah, we'll get into that more as we go on to the Sunkai Flower. But you guys are doing pretty good, I think. Like, obviously, you still don't have all the skills, as discussed when I was like, does anybody actually have
We don't
hardware
have a
this or
space
medicine
technician.
that?
It's like, nope.
So yeah,
I'm not a combat. I guess I'm not like I'm not like a.
No,
analyst
you're
of
a
the
you're a
dead.
healer. You're a paramedic. You're like
yeah,
I do
I'd rather
implants and
avoid.
trauma.
Yes, I don't. I like to keep the things I'm investigating not dead.
Let's
So, yeah.
avoid the combat. Let's just sneak in there, get the information we need, see what we
So-
need to.
And I will tell you, I have had they rolled really well, but I have had groups approach this scenario and accomplish it perfectly stealthily.
Okay.
So
We're gonna. I'm already expecting
like,
shit up.
Because our objectives are basically find Tara Yu, find the Titan tech, and
find the Mermaid and hardware modules, recover Tara Yu, and then fuck the White Con's day up? Question mark.
That
like
will,
technically, if we trip
on
their
your
sentry-
virtual cork board, because of course you have one. You're like, let's put a blue pin in that. That's to do. It's not a high priority.
Like here's the thing. Like, as gung-ho as it's like, I don't know how, like, honestly, I don't know how easy sabotaging a ship is. Like, usually that's, like, kind of things they build for them not to fucking do.
Well, like I said, I will say this. It's a fusion
Also,
type
I think
reactor.
the
It's a
thing
tokamak type. As I explained, if you guys did actually fuck with magnetic containment, like, there are safety systems, but you're like I said, your Bomberman could plant a shaped charge to cause it to failure.
Locust has plenty of experience tampering with these things.
But here's the thing. If we can get in and get out without being seen, we don't necessarily... That means they don't know what's going on. They're going to keep
We
their...
could just tag them for an eraser team.
Yeah, for someone who is literally spec'd out to come down and burn everything to the fucking...
Yeah, we just go
I
in, get out, and
you
mark
guys
them for
could
eraser.
also, like, if you want to get really subverted, you could also, like, try and... Because you don't know about it, you might try and take over their bridge and, like, physically lock out their controls, tell them to, like, do a straight-up burn out of the plane of this galaxy in a high elliptic, and, you know...
Isn't that like some hacker shit, though?
That would be
I guess
hacking
I
or
could.
piloting. Like, you have a pilot, he can physically
I can't
return
pilot,
the
I can hack.
controls and then just smash them with a wrench. Now, they have an ego casting rig, but, like, I don't know, like I said, depending on how deep down in the sabotage you want to go, you guys can get creative, but you need to know more info. So we'll get there next time.
And I think like it might go where I might end up having to send a fork. I might have to fork myself to like, and then we might have to get a Ghost Rider. I'll go on Locust. Like I'll probably go.
Well, you guys can plan all this stuff out later. I'm trying to cut off the recording here.
Yeah, okay.
So
let's.
I'll just
finish
say,
it off, Mike.
real
Okay.
quick, because this is EP. You got a lot of solutions. So, like, real quick, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that. We'll be back next time with more glory. I'm going away now.